Compton crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a soda. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you're with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk mother, it's going out.
Right, so I usually start this top five with, I look at all that, but I just want you to tell everybody what you just said to me and Matt John about your top five.
It's our top, my top five, and five random items from John's collection.
I just grabbed him. I suppose so.
I got five things. We're fine.
Yeah, well, I didn't. What I mean is, I didn't list them from 1 to 5. I just have 5 things to talk about, but I'm just gonna grab them in a random order. I don't.
John, since Shabby asked me to do this, I have agonized over what to limit this thing to 5.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah,
I'm looking around going, well, what am I talking about? Let's talk about that. I should get this. And then I was like, no, that's too buried. I can't get that out. Okay, let's do this.
Hey, Des. Georgie says, after Fab Top 5 just under 6 weeks, we will get to see Matt and John.
Yeah, you don't know how excited I am for
it's
hanging
so
out.
Much fun.
I mean, it was like, I'm trying to figure out how we can get like a reservation at Uga's Cantina in Galaxy's Edge, so we can do a little Star Wars thing.
Whatever works, whatever works when everyone's together, that will make it work. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, you'll have a great
and honestly, and for anybody in the chat, if you're not, obviously, if you can't come this November, and if you're ever in Florida, like in Central Florida, and you're anywhere near the Space Coast, get in touch with me.
Yeah,
you are more than welcome. Yeah, we'll figure something out and do.
You'll have to be dead made up. About 7 of them turn up with suitcases.
Well, I figure for Adam Berry, there's a Top Gun themed bar just down here in Satellite.
Oh wow!
And we went there for dinner like a week or so ago, and it's awesome. The food was good. My oldest and I were shooting pool. He'd never shot pool before, so it was all. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff to do out here. There's
billiards,
right?
Billiards.
We're playing 8-ball.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, so let me ask you then. So you both said about your top. Was it hard to come up with a top 5, and how did you come up with your top 5? So I'll start with you, Matt.
Yeah, Matt, you said it was hard.
Oh yeah, I agonized over this because it's like because I don't have it's like Shabby, your toy collection.
Yeah,
fair to say, right? I don't. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of toys in my collection. I have a Star Wars collection, not necessarily a toy collection. So and so I did kind of agonize over what to put it, because it's like I have so much stuff that I really enjoy and it's really cool. And then it was, and I was like, I ended up having to break it up into categories.
Yeah, right.
So that's what a lot of people have done. You've done like sentimental
and take my favorite thing from each category.
Rob,
yeah,
that's a lot of people, because it's funny because when I set up top 5 and you come up with it, and then I realized, actually, is it sentimental? Is it nostalgia? Is it stories? Is it what's worth more? Is it and we've had so many people on in the 2 seasons we've done it that have come on with different things. A few lads like Arsai and whatever, and Kat will do the novels, or do her models that mean something to her, and Si will do things like gifts that people gave him, and VTR goes for the nostalgia route and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty impressive. There's loads of people here, by the way, loads. So hi Rob, hi everyone that's come in. Gilster's here, John McGuire, hi John, Martin's here.
Does that help, Si? Does that help,
Martin?
I've been looking forward to
I
this.
said I don't recognize John without a Yoda on his head. So there you go. Does that help, Si?
Oh, imagine it. Big howdy to you fine folks. You can't get more texting than that, can you? That's brilliant. Si's here, are you, Si?
Hey, Si.
Oppie's here. Jono's here. Go, everybody. Palps. Shabs and John. Bryce wanted me to say hi. Hi, Bryce.
Hi. Yeah,
nice to see you, buddy. Lady Steph says,
we all love Bryce. Bryce is one of the crew. Bryce is one of the crew.
Yeah, I was talking about Bryce last night when I was talking to Gary Moore and Andy and Scuba and you, and I said, it was lovely seeing him at Joe Fest, seeing a little lad loving it. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
That's
I got
what
to
it,
play
'cause
Transformers on the floor with somebody. You know,
That's what
I'm
it's
on
all
the
about,
floor
wasn't it?
in the hotel room playing Transformers with Bryce.
Yeah, I would love to see Shabby do that because it'd be like 3 hours of him just trying to transform.
Yeah,
one of
right.
them.
Yeah, one guy. He's playing with one
Like
guy.
days later, everybody's like, "Come on, I gotta finish this."
The thing is, though, Matt, it was funny because we always, it's us lot in it, and we're all roughly the same age and whatever, and we go through it. But then you watch these videos of all your friends or same age as us going to Toy Fest, you don't realise when a little kid goes in, he's loving it. Oh, that's why we do it. That's I remember. You know what I mean? I remember now.
Well,
Our
you know what?
days-
You know what? That's exactly right, and it's contagious because, like, so I went up to New York for a family reunion. Sorry for a little bit of a side story here, but it's really relevant to this.
One.
I met my friend Matt from high school. Matt and I met when we were like 15 or we were 16 years old, and that's when we met. He went to a neighboring school, well, basically the rival school for our sports teams. But Matt and I became friends, and so we've been friends ever since. We've stayed in touch no matter where I've moved to or what's been going on. And when I went back for a family reunion, I got together with Matt and hung out a whole day with him, and we went around town looking at toy stores and comic stores and things that were in the area that I had either hadn't been to in like 40 years or since I was young, or they were new since I lived there. You know what I mean? I grew up there. And we're in one of the shops and we see like this penny or key racer. It was one of those cars that you put the key in back in the 80s.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, those key racer things. And Matt was like, "Oh my God, I had that as a kid." He goes, "You want to know a funny story?" He goes, we were sitting, he goes, about these key racers and things. He goes, "I've got it at home. I got this exact one." He goes, "Here's a funny story. I was sitting down with Sue, his girlfriend, and they live together, and they're sitting down there watching TV. And on one of these like antique shows or whatever, the guy pulls out a bunch of these cars, and in it was a key racer that was like a blue Camaro with flames on the side or something." And Matt perked up during the show and he goes, "I have that." And he takes off the couch and runs down in the basement, pulls out a box of old stuff, digs through it, finds the car, runs back upstairs where his girlfriend's still sitting on the couch like, "What the hell's going on?" There it is. Look at it, you know.
Leaps on it.
Yeah, and he's all excited. And he goes, "I was so excited to find this thing and see it on TV and stuff." And my girlfriend looks at me and goes, "What's wrong with you?" You know?
My wife does, right? So we'll go out, we'll go to antique malls and stuff like that. And as I'm, I'll just be normal and out with the kids, and all of a sudden you'll see something, won't you? I don't know whether you two do. Then you go, "Oh man!" And
yeah.
My wife thinks I'm having a fit. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean?
His girlfriend's like, "What's wrong with you?" You
What's
know, like. But I told Matt, I said, "You've asked me before." I said, "You've asked me before why I collect." I go, "That's it. What you felt right there." Is the fun in collecting these vintage items because it brings back that exciting feeling, and
it really does, though, doesn't it? But the thing is, though, I mean, we all collect modern as well as vintage, all three of us.
Yeah.
And I've got to admit, Matt and John, I still get the same kick out of modern. Me, do you know what I mean? When we're doing modern, I get the same. Oh, look at that! I just got that Dash Rendar Black Series yesterday.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Wow, that's so. But
lately it's when I can find them for a good price. I feel that way. But lately I've been getting very frustrated with the exclusivity and the sellouts and all the different BS that they're putting us through.
Our whole John's top 5 picks hats.
Let's see. Do I have another hat? Oh, I've got a.
Oh, brilliant.
To tack on to what John was just saying about it.
Yes.
Think about like in the last month, I have gotten an entire year's worth of pre-orders delivered to this house, and it's every time a box shows up, my wife is looking at me. What the heck is this? And I'm like, I ordered this months ago, and it's like, it was before I was still working at my old job, and now it's all showing up at once, and it's like, good God, thank God I didn't back the HasLab on top of it, because it was like,
Is she mad, Matt? Because I had to stop. My wife was getting pissed. Do you know what I mean?
No, she doesn't. But at the same time, she's just like, she comes. You're out of room.
Yeah, you're out of room. Yeah.
Like I've got a cantina. I have no place. I have not figured out where I can put
For
this
me.
thing.
Well,
This is all for Martin. Don't worry about it.
Martin says
Hey,
there's
Martin,
no Wendy's for me.
I've had to do that a couple. No, this is Martin wanted this. So yeah, like Martin asked me, there's Target. He couldn't order it, so I was like, I'll help him out. And anyway, collector. I just ordered that he needed Gamorrean guards for his job of the palace display, and it's like, so yeah, it's like, hey, I was limited to 2, but I got 2 of them coming. I've also seen that don't worry about it, Steph. That's fine. It's not a big deal, but it's just like, she knows when it's for me,
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't have room, and I'm like, I know, but I can't. It's like, it's I'm an addict.
So let me ask you both then. Are you happy with your top 5s, or is it going to be one of those shows where you show your top 5 and then you're going to go?
I'm happy with my top 5. Yeah. If you ask me to do this next week, I could be equally happy with a completely different,
totally different. Yeah, same, exactly the same.
I'll give you a thing about what's coming up. My next season of top 5 is going to be called Another Top 5. So anyone who's been on before can come on again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a thing of all your top 5s from the last time you were on, and see if they're any different and so forth.
Well, the thing is like I said, I've broken this up by the categories, and I'll just swap what I had in the categories. I think the one thing, my number 1 probably wouldn't change.
Yeah, right.
I
don't think my number 1 would. I've not done the top 5 yet, me, but I'll have to get our side to host that one. But I don't think my number 1 would. Yours, John, would your number 1? Don't tell us what your number 1 is, but
I do think awesome.
I do think that
we took it out of the, didn't open it, but took out of the shipper box and looked at it. That thing is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do think that one of these is going to be my top number 1, because it is one of my favorite things in the entire collection, and it would be hard pressed to change that number 1. Let's say, because it's got more than just what it is behind it. Do you know what I mean?
That's yeah.
So
that's
it's
what mine is.
Like my top 5 guys is going to be about this. I chose to talk about the stories behind some of the things in my collection.
Awesome. So because I know there's a few lads in the chat that love the stories.
It's not necessarily like my top 5 favorite items. I mean, where number 1 is definitely going to be a favorite item, but it also has a good story with it. So it's like, but I decided to go like, I was like, how many people? There's been a few people who've had really good stories behind their stuff, but it's not something that comes up that often, I don't think. So I just decided to go a slightly different angle and just say, like, let me pick some really good stories that are behind.
I can't wait. This is
Palpatine's got a good idea, but how about a bottom 5?
About top 5.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Jesse says the challenge of top 5 is immediately wishing I had chosen other things.
That's what I mean, right?
That's what I mean, Jesse.
That's part of it.
I honestly, my list probably, there's certain items on my list that changed like 4 or 5 times.
Are you going through stuff as well, Matt, where you forgot about stuff? So when you're going through your stuff, you go, oh my life, I've done that all week,
Well, I
kind of was like looking through. Well, the thing was like, I was like walking through. I was like looking at some stuff, and it was like one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. With those ones, like, oh yeah, and it was like I really loved getting these because it's a complete set.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that when you complete something like that, it's such a good feeling. Yeah, it's such a good feeling. It's like I got them all.
Yeah.
It's like, but the thing is like like I'll never have the complete 96 because I like as far as like my vintage figures, I don't want anything other than what I had as a kid.
But never say never. Remember, I went to that church fair and there was 11 out of the last 17 in a church fair for $2.
Yeah, I mean, if I came across something like that, I'd be really tempted. But at the same time, is my all the vintage items in my collection is it's mainly the stuff that I had as a kid, with the exception is like the Jawa, because I lost my Jawa, a ton of times. I probably had about 15 of them. And it just kept losing them. But I just went and I got a new Jawa to put in my vintage collection because I had one as a kid and it was in my collection now. So, but like pretty much every vintage item you see in my collection I got when I was like 7.
I think I did. I've got to be honest. My mum had kept all our Star Wars. I don't think I would have got it again because the prices went up. So I was quite lucky in that way. Geek Strong says, great John has stories with his top 5. Get ready for this. Bloody charming. Des turns around and Des says, surely, what is it? What does he say there?
Modify the stub numbers. That's pretty.
Des.
I get what Des is saying, though. I get what he's saying because it's like,
well, I'd never.
Your favorite stuff, you find a place to display it.
Yeah, you do.
Now, saying that is like one of my more favorite things is my vintage Imperial Walker, and that is in a tub right now because I want to restore some stuff.
Oh, well, you have to get on to Thumpers, get it out, give it a push
Yeah.
up.
There you go. Yeah.
Right, well, we're starting then. Oh, hang on a minute before we go. Good old TG. Everyone's turned up for you, lads, tonight. Brilliant. Awesome. All right, well, we're going to start off with top 5, and now to start it off with, gentlemen, is your honourable mention. So, Johnny Boy,
an honor. I only have 5. I didn't get a 6.
Do you honourable mention?
The ET behind you, or the salacious rum.
There you go. You know what? It's this. Here we go. It's this Bart that talks because.
So why is this your honourable mention?
You got to pull a string out of his ass.
No, I got this. This is a kind of a neat thing. I got this Bart when when he came out. It must have been like 1990 or something. It was so long ago. And I just sat him in my bedroom. And for some reason, he managed to travel around with me. And it's so funny because I don't collect Simpsons stuff. I have no interest in collecting Simpsons stuff. But for some reason, I think because this guy has sat around in my off to the side for so long, like there's pictures of my bedroom from high school, and you see him just sitting on the desk.
It was massive though back then, wasn't it? Bart Simpson was I always had the assumption that it started off with Bart, but it turned into Homer, didn't it? But it was Bart. Remember the Bartman, and it was
Bart was the big one back in the day.
Yeah, but then Homer came there.
So it is kind of an interesting thing in the collection. It's an oddball in the collection, but it's something that's just managed to survive and always sit there. And nowadays, I'm very thankful that I actually have this guy, even if his pull string is wearing out. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure like a guy like Toy Ploy or one of those guys knows how to get in there and slow that back down.
Send it to VTR, he'll fix it for you. He's already done one. I need the record thing in there. Send it to VTR.
Yeah,
Eat my shorts, right? Yeah.
I'm sure they know how to like slow it back down so it sounds normal because it's.
It's funny as well because I don't really watch The Simpsons a lot, but I do. Every episode I watch The Simpsons is always well written. It's always good.
It's fun.
What's funny was like you think about Bart back in the when that show first came on. Bart was a very controversial character just because of what he was saying.
Yeah.
And now it's like God, he's tame by comparison to what you can find on TV
now.
I mean, my youngest is like his favorite show of recent days was Squid Games.
Squid Game. Oh yeah. I enjoyed Squid Game, but did you jump on the Simpsons bandwagon, Matt? Were you on it or?
I liked the show when it was first out. It was on it. It started off on it. It was a different. What was her name? Oh, she had a comedy show.
Yeah, the Tracy Ullman.
Yeah, Tracy Ullman. It was a short on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah,
I remember. Like, those characters from Tracy Ullman are getting their own show, and I watched it. Honestly, that show I stopped watching it. It's been on longer than since I stopped watching.
Yeah, well, it's about 35 years now. Simpsons.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, if you go to Universal Studios,
VTR,
the Simpsons ride is like one of the best rides there. It is fun ride. And it was kind of funny. It was like in 2019, we surprised the kids with we told them we were going on a trip to California.
Right.
What we didn't tell them was that we were going to Disneyland, Universal Studios, Legoland. My kids were big into Lego at the time. Like for a year, we had this thing booked like a year in advance. And like my youngest, who was 5, 4 or 5 at the time, when we were getting these Lego magazines, and he's like, "Hey, Daddy," he's like, "Look at this. They have this thing. It's called like the Legoland Hotel, and we could stay there, And I'm like, well, that one's in Florida, dude. We're not going to Florida. We're going to California, and they don't have that there. But it's literally, I had to bite my tongue for a year because they found out they were going to Disneyland as we pull up in the parking lot at Disneyland. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It's like one of the first videos I posted because honestly, that's how my YouTube channel started, was because I posted these videos for my family because I couldn't text them out. And like we're driving into Carlsbad, California, where Legoland is, and I'm like, "Hey guys, look around," and they're like, "What?" And they're seeing the Legos and stuff. And Rowan, who is almost 6, doesn't really read, is like, "It says Legoland, California." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I thought you couldn't read."
Read what he wants to read. Yeah,
So I mean, I've liked The Simpsons a lot, and honestly, the funny thing was when we were at Universal Studios in California, in Hollywood, Rowan was the one, and he was the one. He wasn't tall enough to go on a lot of the rides, but he was tall enough to go. And he was like, "I want to go." We were looking at going on the Minions ride because I love the Minions, and he was like, "I want to go on the Simpsons ride." And we were running out of time; the place was going to close, and I was like, "All right, we can do one." I was like, "All right, you know what? Rowan really wants to do the Simpsons ride." I was like, "What do you know about the Simpsons?" But you wanted to go on it. By God, it was one of the best rides we went on that day.
I bet it was.
And they have it here in Florida, and it's like I always try to make it a point to go on. It's a very fun, even the queue, because they're telling this story about Sideshow Bob taking over Krusty Land. It's at the Krusty's theme park, and it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
Geek Strong says he remembers trying to win that bar at a carnival, but he spent about 16 quid and didn't win it. Des says, I think we all can sympathize with Smithers and his Malibu Stacy collection. Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that.
Oh, God.
Hey, Andy. Andy says, John allegedly has top 5 Star Wars poster, but he won't show me or let me buy it. That's why he's adopting me.
Yeah, we one day we came up with the idea that I'm adopting Andy so he can
I'm adopting Andy.
He can have my collection after I die.
Fun Simpsons fact. Bart and Hugo are actually based on Shabby inside. Well, that's a good one. Everyone said Audrey. Hey, bike, good old Dario's here. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're all going out there. Looking forward to Saturday. Echo. Would you two like to go to Echo, the one in England, the Star Wars?
Oh, I would go.
That looks like a lot of fun. Yeah,
you're both Star Wars fans, aren't you? So I thought you'd like to go there. Hey,
I mean, there will be a day when I go over there because I have talked to and I want to come visit the family that I have in Ireland. My grandmother on my dad's side, my grandmother was the Shevlin family, and the rest of that whole family is in Dublin, Ireland,
Yeah.
And they've extended an invitation to go visit them, and they'll take us through the Guinness brewery and all that stuff because they still have good ties with Guinness and everything. And so like I have to go over there and see that side of the family at some point in my life.
Well, look who's there. There's Jono, there's Connor, there's Miriam,
Jerry. So what I would do is I would make a plan to visit that side of the family and then go see everybody in Ireland and then jet down to England and see everybody in England. Just try to do a loop of it or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, Ireland, it's like I said, I think the lads have either flown from Ireland to England or took the ferry. It's not it's not a far place. George says he remembers in Blackpool, the local arcades were full of 4-player Simpsons. And it's just the one-liners. I remember him having that makeup gun. And he shot Marge in the face with a makeup gun, and she went, "Oh my, you've got it set on whore." And I thought that was the funniest thing. And I didn't stop laughing for ages. Or when that French fella fancied Marge, and he bent her over to give her a kiss, and she went, "No." And he goes, your mouth says no, but your eyes they say yes. You know what I mean? It was brilliant. I loved it. Bart calling moles. Can someone check the mentoring? Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
For Mr. IP, Mr. IP Freely.
Yeah. Amanda hug and kiss.
Yeah.
W6 go on, John. Put on another hat. You know you want.
I don't know if there's anything else. Another one here. I don't know.
Did you say 7 hours, Dino? More like 10. Charming, John. Hey, CWC, Johnny's from the collection family. Yeah, he is, mate. You're exactly right.
And I don't know where.
Biker says, come up to Scotland too, John.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll try to. Like I said, when I go over there, it's got to be like I'll probably end up being there for like a month because I'm going to have to do like this big loop. But that's the way it'll work out. And I would like to do it when either NEC or Echo or something is going on, so we can do that at the same time.
The funniest thing, have you ever been to England, John?
No,
Well,
never had.
it's funny because you'll go and see all the lads all over the UK, right? But every town you go to, they all speak different. Even if it's only 10 minutes down the road, they speak have a different accent. You'll be like, "What the France? Everyone's all over this show." BTR says, "Isn't Bart Simpson about 45 years old? He should get a job and pay his way." Hi, Jedi Cantina. Well, we got some old school boys in here tonight. Nice to see you. Plan it right, John, and get to the NEC and Echo Live. Yeah, plan it. You can stay with Des. Stay with Des. Stay with Des. He's got loads of him. You can stay with him.
Well, that's part of the thing. If I do go over there and I stay for that long, I'm hoping that I can shack up with certain people for a night or so. Just like make a rounds, because that's the thing. You're like paying for, it's going to be a lot to get me over there, and then paying for places to stay.
Mate, as soon as you say you're going, they'll all turn around.
Have you not seen the movie Hostel? There's plenty of places to stay.
Yeah, really? Yeah, but they kill you, don't they?
Well, I'm not saying try that in Eastern Europe, but I'm sure in the UK it's not so bad.
Yeah,
Lady Steph says, "Come and see us too, John." Oh, yeah, stay with them. They've got loads of stuff to steal.
I wouldn't miss it. Yeah, of course.
My thing is, like, I would go over there and then I would just drive up to Martin and Steph's house and just knock on the door.
Yeah, could you imagine if I went over there and didn't see Martin and Steph? I'd get killed. Steph would be like, "What's wrong with you? Eat."
Biker says, "Scuba and John at Echo. That will be a party to end all parties."
Yeah, there you go.
Right, mate. Oh, brilliant. Let's have a look. Yes, I didn't mean steal. I meant he can just borrow.
Just wear your Yoda hat in Blackpool.
You're fine staying at mine, John. Just don't wear that Yoda. Can you imagine size? Can you imagine? Brilliant. Be warned, John, they don't speak understandable English in Blackpool. No, I just love it because I asked that to Pete as well. And it's like I say, everywhere you go in England, 10 miles down the road, they speak differently. Do you see what I mean? True, John,
and VTR Dave, and VTR Dave, I'd have to go visit Dave. You know, all you guys. I mean, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying I would have to take a month because I'd want to meet every single person we know over there. You know what I mean?
Have you been, Matt? Have you been to England?
I have not. I'm the only member.
I'm surprised at that.
I'm the only member of my immediate family that hasn't.
Yeah,
my brother.
Well, that's how I feel.
Well, my brother spent a semester in college over in Leicester.
Yeah.
And then my sister spent a semester in college in London. And when she was there, my parents went to visit her, and they drove all the way up. They went up to like Dublin and stuff. Cause like we have family, my family came to them, or like part of my family came from Ireland. And so they were going back looking where the family was and stuff, stuff like that. So yeah, I would love to go do it. I don't know.
What's put you off
right
me
now?
Seeing this like in the chat and stuff, watching the videos? Is it put you off England? You're like,
no. Honestly, it makes me want to, but it's like, I was like, I gotta get out of the house.
George Akins says you can't stay at mine. The sharks haven't been fed for a week. Hang on a minute, welcome. Get yourself over here, Matt says Dario. Yeah. Where Dario lives is beautiful.
Well, the thing is like someday before I die, I have to go to Dublin and drink. Have a pint of Guinness at the Guinness Brewery.
Yeah.
And when they're not looking, I'm jumping in one of the vats. That's where I can get.
Oh, brilliant! Right,
that's really the way I want to go.
What's your honorable mention, buddy?
I got a few.
I'm loving this tonight. This is
like 80 honorable mentions. I'll start. If you want to queue up the photos, but I'll start with this one. Is
photos? He's got a whole queue.
If I'm going high end, like high end collectibles as an honorable mention, I have always loved this lightsaber hilt, the style and everything was Obi-Wan Kenobi's. This is from his Phantom Menace. This is his Master Replica's Elite version.
Yeah.
It's like I got like number 184 out of what was it, like 2,500 or something that they made. Wow. So, just to have this, I mean, this is the one thing that, is like, I don't ever plan on selling anything in the collection. And honestly, my biggest fear is like after I pass away, Wendy sells my collection for what she thinks I paid for it.
No, my wife will give it all away. She don't give a shit.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is one that I was really happy to get. And
but where did you get that from?
Master Replicas.
Master
I mean, talk about like I started off with these little 0.45 scale lightsaber hilts. It was like a dark chrome Obi-Wan saber. It was at like Celebration 3. I had a friend that was going, and I was like, hey, while you're there, could you get me this one thing that they're selling at Celebration 3? I'd love to have that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my gateway drug into props and I was prop replicas. And then I started getting the full sized ones. And so I've got this one. The first one they ever did was the one from Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan. So I got that one. And there was I've got like a Count Dooku saber.
Yeah.
Hill. I've got the Darth Maul's. It's a signature edition, so I've got Ray Park's signature on it.
Wow.
On the plaque.
Do you have them?
Yeah, there's
do you have lightsabers?
Me?
Yeah. Do you have them
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I've got a Black Series Luke one.
What's pretty funny is that's what's the next number 5.
John, you're ruining top 5.
Yeah. I'm jumping the gun, man. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's one more that I want to get, and it's going to take. I still see it every time and time and again. It's just justifying the expense right now, and it's the one from the original Star Wars. It was a limited. Good luck trying to get out of here with it, but it's in an acrylic case. But they made one. It was like a European exclusive. I see it show up on eBay every so often, and then one day I'm gonna jump at it
on lightsabers.
So it would be the last one. That's kind of that one. That's actually that's my white whale. That's
the Star Wars Luke Skywalker.
No. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have an Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have an Obi-Wan Focus. Yeah, this is
okay.
I just loved the look of this hilt and the Phantom Menace.
It looks very well made. The nice. I remember I was having the Obi-Wan
Master Replica. It was that was so awesome for.
I remember my friend Eric in Seattle, who does a lot of my sound. He did a lot of the sound work for some of my videos, and he did the music for the Super Awesome Geek Show and stuff. Because he's got a full-on studio where he records artists in Seattle, and he has he doesn't really have a big collection of Star Wars stuff, but he's got the toys he had when he was a kid, and some of the things he specifically went out and bought as they were coming out were those master replicas, and he got the Luke Skywalker and the Darth Vader from New Hope, from Star Wars, and
they are pretty. They are nice.
Yeah, they look. He's got them in a nice glass thing lit up, and it's just they're so awesome looking. But I don't know if he ever got the Obi-Wan. I really don't.
Yeah, you got there as well, aren't you? Behind you, round your posters, Matt. Right there, I can just make you big to show them there.
Oh, which one? Oh, yeah,
your lightsabers in between.
Those are the Force effects ones. Yeah, we'll talk about those later. Another honorable mention, I was just say, because this kind of goes through, is one of my all-time favorite games was Knights of the Old Republic, and just having Revan is such a great character.
Yeah.
And this new Revan figure that they came out with in TVC is absolutely just.
Are you still going all in for TVC then, all of it? Because I still am. The reason I say it's because Black Series, a lot of people have died off, but I'm still collecting. I love Black Series.
I am by no means a completionist, but I do like to get the definitive version of characters. I'm working on a video right now. I'm getting all the stuff together for it. It's kind of like looking at the original 12 and definitive. What we have right now, is it considered the definitive version of the character? Like Farm Boy Luke or Han Solo, the new Han Solo, the new Chewbacca, the new Kenobi is. I've got one. Yeah, I've got him here, and he's fantastic. This new figure is really great. But
JT's got. I think I have the saber that Matt's after. It's mine. It's mine.
You have the Kenobi Master Replica one, JT.
And then Palp says Kenobi's weathered saber is a beautiful piece.
That's the one. That's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, it looks like JT's got it. Look, I think I have it.
Oh, you bastards! I hate you both. No, that's awesome. I'll get it someday. I just have it.
VTR says John's got to show all his top 5 by the time Matt stopped talking about it. Yeah, I tell you, there's some cheeky sods in this chat. That VTR.
Hey, Shabby, I got one. If you just want to bring up the pictures, it'll be my last honorable mention.
Which pictures?
The
plushies. Got it right. Yeah, I've got 2 right here. No, you take as many.
Honestly, I've never. There's like 2. Yeah, this will be it. I don't want to go crazy with it, but I gotta save something for the next top 5. But these little beanbag figures that Disney put out during Star Wars weekends, and I just really kind of started. If you can bring up the pictures,
Hang on a minute. I thought I had them up. They're here.
No, I didn't want to grab them off the shelf, so I just took pictures of them. So yeah,
those ones. Yeah,
it started off with
StreamYard's done this
Jedi
thing now
Mickey.
where you used to be able to put them up straight away, but now they don't. They keep it until you.
I mean, I didn't realize I could have used the present button and done it myself. I'll do that for later on. But these were out in Star Wars weekends. You know, as you can see, they have the year stamped on the foot like that. Yeah, they started in 2004. They're in the other picture. It was the Jedi Mickey, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I got to get one. And then it was like, oh, they got more of these because like I was at the time when these were coming out, I was in my missile tour. I was living in like northern Colorado. I was stationed in Wyoming, and so I got all of these off of eBay, and luckily it was pretty cool. Yeah, they were giving it was like Star Wars weekends. It was at the time I wasn't really going to the park. I hadn't been to Orlando since I was like 12, so it was brilliant. Like, seeing these, I thought they were really kind of cool. And like I said, they don't do this anymore. The last ones were the Luke and Leia. They're actually stitched together.
I'm too there.
They have
by the hands.
Yeah, they're stitched by the hand. And I thought
are they collectible things? These, Matt, are they actually collectible?
I think just about anything from the Disney parks is collectible. I mean,
because he says
will go nuts just because of all the different popcorn buckets.
Yeah, especially
people collect. I mean, people collect popcorn buckets. There's like so many different things that people will grab. I mean, people that are like hardcore Disney collectors. Yeah. I mean, it's
and
amazing.
this is when they were doing the Star Wars collaborations before they owned Star Wars. You know, so
this was really a collaboration. With
a lot of this stuff that they did pre-acquisition is like really up. Yeah, it can be collectible. Yeah,
really nice. JT says, "Yep, that's the one. It's a beautiful saber. I've got the Obi-Wan saber. He's got it." JT
I am insanely jealous, JT. That is awesome. I'll get it someday. It's just I haven't yet. Yeah.
Oh, it's an old one then. JT, as soon as I saw it advertised back in 2003, I think I knew I had to have it. Is it as old as that? 22 years old? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Master Replica came out. They started in like 2000.
They were like the best. Yeah, they were the best prop replica sabers.
They were great. Yeah. They were fantastic.
And they still arguably are some of the best. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you look at like EFX, it's like, you put an order in and hope it comes someday, kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, Master Replica was great about getting product out.
Yeah.
Geek Shong says he still has the plush Donald Duck as Darth Maul. And then JT says, yeah, me too. It was the best one they made because of the weathering. Right. Yeah, now I get it now, JT. Yeah.
No, that saber, it's Obi-Wan's from the original Star Wars. So it's all beat up and everything, so it's fantastic looking. It's a great looking saber. It's like, wow, that is the one. It's like, oh, I got to get that someday, kind of thing.
And like I said, I know our side used to have Master Replica sabers, and I never. And then when they first introduced the Black Series ones, I think they were about 150 at the time, and I bought the Luke one. But the only problem with it that I had was how thick the top was. And then
you're talking about the Force Effects saber.
Force Effects.
I have those in a different category. This is a straight up just prop replica hilt. There's no electronics in this or anything.
Well, what's the most expensive you've spent on one of these hilts? Estimation. I know if your wife's watching, we'll cut it out.
No, it's $5. She knows, and it was before I knew her. I think I spent. I probably spent about $700 on the original Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan saber because they were out of stock. They weren't making them anymore when I had to go secondary market for it. So, but that was when I was still single. So,
yeah. John, what about you? Have you spent a lot of money on these hilts?
No, I think a Black Series Force Effects was one of the most expensive of the hilts that I've.
I mean, granted, they're not cheap. They were
because
I'm not saying they're unreasonably priced, but
when you get to the story behind what I pulled up in the middle of his talk, which will be just coming up real soon because I'll show it first. You'll understand what I have there. It's not in the same realm as what he's got.
It's not the elite side.
It's not the elite side of. But I think the story will impress you. I bet you.
Gilsa says the Muppet Star Wars crossover figures, Animal plus Boba Fett, is a grail.
Yeah,
do you remember that one?
Yeah, those
cool. Are hard to get them all. Those are actually quite difficult to get the whole set. There's some.
Well, another thing is like the the Star Wars version like Potato Head characters. Like I
thought
about this because I just don't want to get it down, but it's like here I'll turn the camera around. You can see it. Like here's
make
like
your biggest head.
But like see, there's those half scale ones, but there's that freaking the Spud Trooper. Because look at his gun. His gun is it's a little potato masher. And I love it. Yeah, I've got 3 of them. I've got like the Darth Vader or Darth Tater. I've got the Spud Trooper and the R2 Potato. and they did make and they were sold in the Disney parks. There's one. It was like a Boba Fett one, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that.
Yeah, you got to get that one. Yeah. Well, listen, we did an awesome, great start. We've got Bart Simpson. We've got lightsabers, Revan. I tell you what, not bad at all. Let's get ready.
Palpatine. I've got a video on my channel on how to fix. He's talking about the mall. Yeah, the washers and stuff. Yeah. Look, reach out to me either on Instagram or something, or go through my channel. If you look, there's I have a video about how to fix that. The
nicest thing as well, just for a segue for that, because I am a professional, is that Super Awesome Geek Show and Matt's Collections videos and the links to their YouTube channels are in the description below. So after this, and you think, oh, you know what, I'm in love with those two boys, I think I'll subscribe. They're right there. They're right.
Special.
You are a man among men, Shabby.
I say professional. Anyway, here's your number 5.
Wrangler man.
On the left.
Wrangler man.
Oh, we're going with me.
We're going with you.
We already know what John's was. I want to go for. Okay, so kind of staying in the prop replica cosplay. I thought about using my Innova Stormtrooper back here, but I went with something else. It's a little more high end, and I just absolutely love this because I love the
Stormtrooper.
Is my Mando helmet.
Wow.
Yeah,
from Innovos.
Right. And now Paul's collectible. I know Novos through Paul because I know Paul's got a few of them and so forth.
Yeah.
Paul doesn't. You generally go with like actual characters. Like I have
in military and stuff. He goes for like the clothes.
Well, he likes he likes the troopers and stuff like that. He doesn't generally go with characters. Well, he's got a few because he's got like Bo-Katan. He's got a few.
Yeah.
We've talked helmets a lot. Paul's awesome.
It is.
That's another channel. If you like stuff like this, I mean, he's all in on helmets. He does TVC carded, he's got a pretty good carded collection.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did Novos, are they still going, Novos? So have they finished?
No, they went out of business.
They got bought.
There's a lot of shady stuff, but basically it was all taken over by another company called De Nuo Novo, which a lot of people were like, oh, the new Innovos, but they're doing very well. Their quality is just as good. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't get, they pre-ordered stuff, put money in, and never got their items from Innovos. I'm lucky that there's like 3 different things I got from Innovos. That Stormtrooper kit right there.
Also, they did the kit as well, not just the helmet.
The whole suit. That was the first thing they did.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, it came as a kit. I put it together. I've trooped in that a couple of times. Scared the crap out of some kids. It's awesome. But yeah. So I ended up because I put on the COVID-19. So it's like me getting into that thing is like trying to put a thing of Pillsbury biscuits back in the tube. It's not pretty. I mean, there's nothing more body shaming than putting on Stormtrooper armor. It's bad. But I got that one, and I have a first order Stormtrooper helmet that's on the wall back up there, and that one's another. But this, those are both they're both made out of plastic. This is fiberglass. And it's like very high end, even like inside here, it's like all foamed out. And it is an amazing helmet. And
are they a lot more? You don't have to tell me the price. Are they a lot more expensive than the Black Series ones? A lot more.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so.
Okay.
And the thing is, I have a few Black Series helmets. Like I have the Black Series Kylo Ren. I have the Black Series Vader. Luke Reynolds just did a review of the Shore Trooper helmet.
Yeah, it's nice as well.
Paul's Collectibles did. I think he's got one coming. But he's talked about that. That one is like, oh, I'm tempted. I am very tempted. That one looks really cool.
I've got a few.
I love Rogue One. So
do you have them yourself, John? Do you have a couple of these helmets, Black Series helmets?
Well, yeah, mine are not Innovos. They're it's that company that I want to say they start with a P.
A P? Who's that?
Prop Masters?
Prop X or some. It's like P with an X. I can't remember.
Right.
Paul knew exactly who they were, but they're the ones that I get are generally made of like a fiberglass, and they only put a limited amount of foam inside. They're kind of crude and handily painted, but they're usually like around $100. They're not
Right. Yeah.
they're not the super high end things, but they look beautiful on display. And I've got the Stormtrooper, the Snow Trooper, the Biker Scout, and the AT-AT driver from them. And they use magnets to attach like the Biker Scout shield and the sides of the little pointy things on the AT-AT driver, like all those parts that can come off, so it makes stripping easier. You magnet them back on, so it's kind of like there is some craftsmanship to them, but they're not as high end as like an Anobos or even any. And in like I would say in the Biker Scout, even the Black Series, I think is better.
I got that. I still haven't opened it. I pissed and moaned, and she went, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah," and I still haven't opened it. It's in the box. Geek Strong.
And then I have a Darth Vader helmet from the late 80s, early 90s that has the chest piece attached.
Oh, right. I remember that.
The lights and sounds. And it's actually like you put the collar on, and then the back comes over, and then you got to put the helmet, the faceplate, and then you got to put the helmet on. So it's in like 3 parts, but it's smaller. In my opinion, it's a smaller scale than like, say, the Black Series, because the Black Series, to me, I mean, I haven't seen them side by side, but when I look at pictures, I'm going and see it on people's heads when they're wearing it. I think the Black Series looks bigger, but the Darth Vader still looks great on display next to the Stormtrooper and the other stuff.
That's what Luke said about that Shore Trooper, wasn't it, Matt? He said that the helmet looks a bit bigger on that Shore Trooper one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see it in hand.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it's hard
to
tell.
He did a good job, but it's kind of, that's one thing. His video is he's not like, it's kind of hard to get an idea for scale for it when it's just the helmet itself. But yeah, I mean, but as far as like, I mean, what are the Black Series or helmets are going for like about 150?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. This was 700.
Yeah. Oh, so it's a massive difference.
Yeah, but I will say with a Novos, with a Novos or the new Novo now, I mean, the accuracy on these things is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, because they had access to everything. And if you go to Galaxy's Edge and you go into like Savi's workshop, as you're walking in the alcove, there's one of these. This helmet's up on the wall.
Pulp says the EFX Macquarie concept Vader art is a piece.
Oh yeah, no, EFX. I mean, EFX makes some really good stuff too. I don't have any of their stuff.
Yeah,
but that helmet he's talking about is absolutely fantastic. It is amazing.
I'm envious of Matt's Mando helmet. I love the Hasbro version.
The Hasbro version is really cool. Yeah, the Hasbro version is really cool. I like it. It's got the little flashlight on the side. I think it's kind of cool. I can't do that with this one, obviously, but if you're looking for something and you're a little more on a budget, you're not going to go. You can't go. You're not go off with these Black Series. Like I said, I have a few in my collection as well, and I really do like them. I think the other, I have one other Novos thing, and it's actually Wendy bought it for me. It's like it's an Imperial officer cap.
Wow.
I really like it
for a helmet. Wow.
Yeah, but it's a fiberglass high. I mean, if you're into like the high end prop stuff, I mean, I know guys that's all they collect, and it's you're spending some money.
Yeah.
That's why I only have like a handful of those on this.
Anything else on your number 5, or is that just the number 5?
No, I'm just doing one thing from now on out. But for the most part, it's one thing.
For the most part, awesome, my friend. John, what's your number 5? Let me guess.
So
Matt, do you want to guess?
My number 5.
I think it's probably a lightsaber hilt. I think it's Luke's lightsaber hilt.
My number 5s are also props. My number 5s are also props. Now, the story behind these is, so I had a friend growing up. I grew up with a guy. I'm 6 years old. I'm in Irondequoit, New York, sitting in the front yard. We move into this house, and I'm petrified. I don't know if I'm going to meet friends or not. I go out front. I sit down with my Star Wars figures and dump them out in the front yard and start playing. And down the road comes this kid named Joey. He has all his Star Wars in a mason jar. He dumps them out. We became best friends. Star Wars gave me a best friend. A couple years later, we move out of that house. We go to Marion, New York. And I was, again, like, crap, how am I going to meet people? And I was playing with Star Wars. And here comes Marty down the road. And he's like, oh, my gosh, you got Star Wars. I'm in the sandbox. He goes running back up to his house, comes back with all his Star Wars. Instantly best friends again. Star Wars got me another good friend. Oh. Well, fast forward to high school, and we're getting cars and stuff. Marty buys a 1966 or 67 Ford Mustang, but it's a beater. He's got to repair it. He gets a job at a machine shop, and this machine shop had this lift that was with chains. The guy had rigged it up with these chains, and he could lift the car, the whole body up in the air. And depending on which corner, a chain on each corner, and depending the way you move it, you could turn the car this way or that way. Oh, so right, we were hanging the car in the air, and he would machine parts for it. So instead of buying like a new throttle linkage, he would machine it and make it there with the metalworking tools and the machining stuff that were in the machine shop. So after they were done working for the day, Marty would work on the car. So I went, ding, ding, ding. Marty, we need to make.
So that's what it's made there.
Star Wars stuff. And this is all parts that attach onto this. So I went and found this. It's actually, I don't want to point it at the camera because you'll get taken off the air. This is actually a real German Mauser. That we found at a gun show. We actually found it, and we asked the guy to plug the muzzle because we didn't want it to work. So he plugged the chamber for us and took the firing pin out, but yet it still cocks and fires. Still has the sights and the aiming stuff that can come up.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Marty made the nozzle, so we had to file down the iron sights and put this on. And then he made this part and all this that attach it screws on. We drilled holes, and basically we replicated Han Solo's blaster. And this is heavy as hell, man. This is basically what they did. This is basically what they did when they made them for the props of the film.
It's such a cool blaster, isn't it? The DL-44. It's just.
And then what he did
before YouTube blocks it.
Yeah, the other thing he did was. Well, that's why I was holding it in that certain way, because if you point at the camera or flip it around where it's clear what it is.
Spice Runners around a couple weeks ago got taken off because somebody had a blaster in their intro.
But this one he actually put on a lathe, and he lathed. So this was a solid piece.
Yeah.
That he actually lathed in this stuff with a lathe, all these dents and angles, looking at photos that we had from like a book.
So is that one solid piece then that he's lathed all the way through?
Well, what it is though is he actually was very clever when he made this. He put there's a set screw inside one of these grooves here, right? And it actually slides apart, and you'll see this little button that wasn't really on the original Luke saber.
That's completely inaccurate. Get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah, give it to me.
But what he did is inside here is a little electronic thing, and there's a light bulb in the end down there.
No way.
And when you push this, it goes. It just makes a buzzing noise. And then we put a plastic stick. Cool. We put a plastic stick in here and painted it green. So when you turn the light on, it actually lights up only about really like 4 or 5 inches, unless it's really dark out. But it's like, because it's a standard like regular light bulb. It's not an LED or anything. But this was one of the most clever things that he made for me.
Yeah.
And I've treasured it ever since. It's been in my collection. So these are kind of one-off things that and these were made like in the early 90s. Like I'd say 91, 92. Like this was right after high school that he got this job and was able to make these things. And I told him he needed to make more of them, and we should sell these at shows, because at that time I was doing Star Trek conventions. Yeah. And I was like, these would sell. You could easily sell these at Star Trek conventions to Star Wars fans that were going. Because back in those days, the only convention that existed were Star Trek conventions or small comic shows that were in like basements or school like auditoriums and stuff. They didn't have the big like
those
San
were
Diego
dark
Comic-Con
times
stuff back then. So those are those kind of handmade prop things are my number 5 in the story that goes along with them.
Brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. JT says those Hasbro Stormtrooper helmets were actually used in season 1 of The Mandalorian. Remember those Stormy helmets on spikes? They were all Hasbro Black Series helmets. Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, it's like the last episode or the second last episode when Moff Gideon shows up and all the troopers that were there, they couldn't get enough suits. Basically, what they did was they just got a bunch of people from the local 501st.
Yeah,
they'd be better though than in a way extras.
Oh, you're kidding! All those guys
it.
were even better because, like, hey, this suit was actually in Star Wars, kind of thing. That's what they did. Yeah. They didn't have to pay those guys.
Martin says that's really cool, John. Jono says that's amazing. It's before the dark times, before Starfleet. I mean the Empire. He says John has a real Jimmy Bowser Han Solo blaster by Grabthar's hammer by the Sons of Warford. I will have Woody the Charming JT.
I love the Galaxy Quest thing.
What we tried to do? We spent years trying to track down a Sterling submachine gun, because we were going to do the same thing with that and turn it into a Stormtrooper blaster to make an authentic, real Stormtrooper blaster out of a Sterling.
Did military historians go mad like they did? Because I remember the camera guys,
off.
They went mad, didn't they?
I had one guy, I'll tell you, I had one guy come over and he looked at this hanging on the wall and he was like, "Is that a Mauser?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "What the hell did you do to it?" And I was like, "Well, it turns into the Stormtrooper blaster or the Han Solo." And he went, "You asshole!" He was literally like totally pissed.
Well, it's like people they collect like old photography equipment. Like if you try to get
that's what I meant. I remember the
graphics. They're like, "You're not going to make a lightsaber out of this."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Gerard says, beautiful lads. He's not talking about the toys, he's talking about our features. Thank you, Gerard.
Yes.
Thanks, Gerard. Yeah, it's been awesome. I knew it would be. This would be a good one.
But I'll tell you, even like when we got the Mauser, it might have only cost us around $100 if I remember right. But when we were looking for Sterling submachine guns to do the Stormtrooper blaster, like a real, what we considered a real replica, those things were around $1,000 even back then.
Wow.
So like now I have no idea how much a Sterling would be. I think it would just be insane to get it. And then of course, because of the, you probably wouldn't want to convert it at these days. And actually probably right now a German Mauser, you probably wouldn't want to convert it because those are probably worth a lot more.
Well, it's like what George says, right? He says there's probably more Han Solo Mausers than there are genuine, and there probably are. That's probably why they were going, because Star Wars went massive, didn't it? Same as Matt said before about the flashlights and stuff. They were going, I remember.
And that's true what Matt said, that growing up in Rochester, New York, which is where Kodak and that stuff was, there was tons of those Graflex around, and I never grabbed one when I lived there, but my friends were gathering them up because you could find them. You could just find them at someone's estate sale. You'd go to like an old barn or their garage, and there'd be a Graflex sitting in a box.
Wow!
And people were like, I remember my friends and people in our Star Wars club. They were buying up. Some of the guys had 10 or 12 of them, and they probably still have them. And in various states because of the lightsaber history of it. And I remember just going like, I don't know if I really want to do that with a lightsaber, even though we made this. So I never got one. And now I kick myself because I'm like, man, I'd love to have a Graflex now.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that when everybody was grabbing them up, I didn't get one. You know what I mean?
So Palp's got a Master Replica Stormtrooper blaster for 200 quid from an outdoor market in Solihull of all places. He says, I've got two of you interested. He said, no, thanks. No, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, great start. Great start. So let's get to number 4. Super awesome geek show. You are big. So
we're doing number 4. Okay. So I didn't get down the big box because it's up high, but I have the entire box of the original Nintendo Entertainment System that I bought when I was a kid with Robbie the Robot. I spent an entire summer. I have stuff to represent here for Nintendo. I grew up My first arcade video system console at home was a white Odyssey where all you could do is play Pong on it. I think if I remember correctly, the controllers were wired into the unit. So we could just like turn the knob and you watched your little thing go, the little stick go up and down, your boop, boop, beep,
Yeah,
boop,
yeah,
boop, beep,
yeah.
you know, like back and forth. And my brother and I would play that for hours. And Dad would be like, I want to watch the news. Get off your damn game. You know?
Yeah.
And then they bought us an Atari 2600 and we must have had over like 100 different games for that Atari. It was like the greatest thing. But eventually we did stop playing it. And I remember when Nintendo Entertainment Center came out, I was dying for it. I was like, we got to get this. And my parents were like, no, we bought you that Atari and you stopped playing it. You guys, we're not buying you another expensive game system and then have you guys never play it again. And I was like, but we'll play Nintendo, we swear, you know? So I spent a whole summer mowing lawns. I collected eggs from the farm that we lived on, and I was selling eggs for like 75 cents a dozen, going around to our neighbors. Please buy eggs so I could get a Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like, I was cleaning up yards. I was going in the back.
Everything, yeah.
Garage cleaned out. I'll give me $5 and I'll clean your garage, you know? Just like doing everything I could. And by the end of the summer, I had enough money to buy that Nintendo Entertainment Center and to buy a color TV to put in my bedroom. And I went, there you go, Mom. You can't say anything. I'm buying my own Nintendo. You know?
And then she went, you grounded for giving me lip. You can get off the, oh, damn it. You know what I mean?
And it came with Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
thing. It came with Gyromite and it came with Duck Hunt. And my Nintendo was one of the first ones that came with the robot. So I didn't have the combination cartridge where they're all in one cartridge. Mine were 3 individually packaged ones. So I've got Duck Hunt as its own box, Mario Brothers as its own box, and Gyromite as its own box.
And these are the ones, just to stop you, John, these are the ones from your childhood. These are the ones from
this
this
is the exact one from my
Wow.
childhood still here in the box. And some of my other favorite games were Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
And the one that just got me hooked, Final Fantasy.
You still play that now, though, don't you? The
I love these old games like this. This style, like Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, this style of RPG where you got the little guys walking around that 2-dimensional, like, I love these kind of games. And we played these things to death. And I can remember one year when Dragon Warrior came out, I went down to the Christmas tree and it was under the tree. I knew it was, you could tell by this shape. Dad just wrapped it. He didn't even bother to try and hide it in another box or something. So I knew it was a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
So I went and I boiled some water and I got the steam to come up. This is when he's at work, like no one's around. And I steamed the tape off so I could unwrap the gift. And I slide out the cartridge, open up the box, slide the cartridge out, close the box, slide it back in. I put like Super Bomberman or something in there so it would still feel heavy. And then I taped it back shut, put it back under the tree, went up to my room and I started playing Dragon Warrior. And I didn't come downstairs for like 3 days. I was up there forever. And I remember coming back downstairs and I'm like, I think something's wrong. And Dad's like, what do you mean? And I said, I don't know. I've been eating all this food and I can't stop eating. And I woke and I keep being hungry. Like it's not working. And he goes, you do realize you were up in your room for 3 days playing a video game and you haven't eaten or slept or anything. He goes, have you even gone to the bathroom in 3 days? I'm going, I don't know. I didn't think about that. I just kept playing.
Rob goes, yeah. Rob says, love it, John. Contra, Kung Fu, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Double Dragon, some of the old times faves.
Oh, yeah. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, that's another one. Yeah. I love that game, you know. And
were you into it, Matt? Were you into it?
Nintendo
became the thing is like my dad, my brother and I were like practically begged for an Atari for Christmas, and my dad wouldn't have it. And then when I was 12, I was turning 13. I was taking 7th grade. I was taking a computer programming class, and I was really enjoying it. So for Christmas that year, my parents got me this TRS color computer.
Oh,
color TRS, right?
From Radio Shack. Yeah. The
thing is it had a cartridge on the side. So my birthday is only a couple weeks after Christmas. So my Uncle Larry got me a game for it. And you can get it if you go in the Microsoft store. you can get this game for free. It's called Dungeons of Daggerath. So we were playing it, and it's like the original first person shooter. You got to type the commands in and everything, and it's like a 5-level maze. We played this game for a couple of years, and it was like me, my dad, and my brother playing this game, and I'm the one that finally figured out the ending of the game. But that was when my dad realized how much fun video games were. So my little sister, when the Nintendo, she was like, for Christmas, I want a Nintendo. Boom, she gets a Nintendo. My brother and I are like, what the shit?
I pulled the same trick with a bike when me and Si were kids.
But yeah, so with that Nintendo, it was like I had the TRS-80 color computer. Later on, I got an Atari computer, and I had like a bunch of great games on that. Like, oh god, Joust. I used to play that all night.
Oh,
but like on the original Nintendo, I loved the game. Well, the original Super Mario's was always great, but I really enjoyed the second Zelda game, Link.
Oh, Link to the Past, yeah.
No, not Link to the Past. It's just called Link.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It was a few years back.
Adventures of Link, or something.
Yeah, but a few years back, they made that Nintendo Classic Edition. Originally, they'd only made like 5 of them because Nintendo decided they wanted like the new Cabbage Patch doll or whatever for that year, so they purposely made a shortage of them. I was like, just drove me nuts. But later on, they finally came. I got that one, and I also got the Super Nintendo Classic because I had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
for Mario Kart. Yeah, I still have mine. It's in my kids' room. And
I
the original Mario Kart.
My Genesis is up over there in the box too.
The original Mario Kart was it, man. I love that game.
Oh yeah,
my dad would come visit me when I lived in North Carolina when I was stationed there. And he'd be like, "Hey, where's the Nintendo? Let's play Mario Kart." So we play Mario Kart. My dad
forever,
But so
but
I
that's
got
the thing, you see, because we all had them. We were talking about this last night, and I was saying that the way people say that kids don't play with toys because of video games. Well, we had them as kids, but they weren't. It wasn't 7 days away. Oh, well, just John saying he was in his bedroom for 3 days. But, I mean, we always had your bike, and you always had your toys and your movies as well. It wasn't just pure video games, and that's it, was it? When we were kids,
Yeah.
So
we were so into games that like. In a lot of those games, there's like single player. It was rare to get a game like Mario Kart where you could all play and you could hook up those. Yeah. Wasn't Mario Kart one of the first ones where you hooked that splitter up to the controller, so you end up with like 4 people?
Yeah.
Not on the Super Nintendo. I don't think
it wasn't that one first.
The best you could do is, I think that was. I
remember at some point they had that thing where you split it up and you could play like 4 people, but whatever. But I remember like my point is there was a limited amount of people who could play these games. But oftentimes you had 3 or 4 friends over and everybody was taking turns. So what we did is as we figured out stuff, like, and I still have the notebooks, like I actually wonder if ones are within reach. I don't know. But it might be boxed away right now. But we would draw the maps in these notebooks and where like secret things were hidden and stuff. And it got to a point that we had hundreds of games throughout our time playing these things. And all of them got notebook entries for their secrets and hiddens and codes and map that at a certain point, people from high school were calling the house and being like, John, we're playing Super Bomber, or John, we're playing Section Z. We're playing Section Z. We can't figure out how to get this bomb thing. And it's like, okay, you got to go left 3 screens, up 1 screen, go to the right.
I was reading that before. That's good.
Go back 3 screens and then up a screen, and they'd be like, all right, cool. I think I got it. Yeah. It's like, or they'd be like, I'm playing Super Pitfall, or, we're playing
Mortal Kombat game.
What's the special?
I had to, when you were talking about how you wrote down all that, I wrote down all the finishing moves for the guys in Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo.
That same
Rob says here, he says, we all got the Super Nintendo. All my friends wait to sit around playing Mario Kart, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I would be so mad. Just wait to go outside.
He wanted to go outside.
But I like the Super Nintendo had Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi. Oh,
I've still got all those. I've still got all those.
Well, do you still have favorites of games? It's funny as well, though, that I more or less remember what we're talking about, because Tez will do his Spectrum thing, right? And I'll watch a couple of his, when he did his live streams or whatever. And I vaguely remember, like, the games, Horace Goldstein, Chucky, but it wasn't until he played, like, the Super Nintendo. And I was like, well, I'd
Oh.
seen games that he was playing on that one night. He had that thing, didn't he, Tez? And he just changed it one night and did all the. And I was blown away by all the stuff I'd forgotten.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because I had 3 brothers, and we'd always play like the football games and the Tekken and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? It was all them, and we do the same thing. We'd write it all down. We'd have a league, and we'd write down the league and who's won and who's. But it's funny,
and it's fun looking back. Like whenever I find that box and I go through all those notebooks, it's fun looking back and going, "Oh my God, look how detailed some of these maps are and stuff." It's like, man, you know. And I remember my dad; he'd get annoyed. He'd be like, "John, someone's on the phone for your damn game tip line again." You know, like
going mad. Yeah,
that Super Star Wars game. If you couldn't get past the sand crawler on the first guy,
you had to jump up.
If you couldn't, well, I mean, get through there, like get through that whole level. It was start the game over.
Yeah,
if you died on that level, it was like impossible to just start over.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was close to the beginning of the game, but because then there was a spot like right after that where you can get like infinite guys. So it was like, I'll just do that. Once you get there, you're good. But oh my god.
I remember Tecmo Bowl. Yeah, Tecmo Bowl. Yeah.
Tecmo Bowl.
JT says when I loaded it, I used to think, how was I sat before? Everyone knock on wood, fingers crossed. It was the noise for me, JT. It screeched the Spectre. You know, like we know the tapes. You're like, oh man. And Si says he's still got that league book. He's still got it.
And it's fun. Like you're always gonna keep it. You're always gonna keep it because every time you look through it brings you right back.
And then Si brings it up on a very special episode of Tub Thumpers.
Yeah.
Know what I've got. Do you know what I mean? But it's funny that because it's little things like that. It's like you talking about Tub Thumpers. You intrigued us on your Tub Thumpers, Matt, when you did it, showing all those comics. And me and Si were baffled. We were like, "What the France?" Because if John would have done it, no one would have blinked an eye. Everyone knows
because everybody sees.
Pulled them out.
Yeah, everybody sees this. That's why I wanted to show something like a different thing.
Yeah, but it's funny. But the reason I bring that up, gentlemen, is because of the games tonight. Were games as important to you as toys were as kids? Video games.
At that point, yes.
It depends on the game. Like honestly, it was later on. I mean, like Link was a lot of fun. It was games with a story were the ones that got me.
Yeah.
That's when I like. That's why I'm such a huge fan. Let's like. Bart and I were talking about, doing like a for love of Star Wars, and I was like, we could do Knights of the Old Republic. I was like, it's gonna have to be like a 17-hour episode because I'm gonna go right into KOTOR 2, and there's so much in those games. It's that the story is so deep. It's like, that's what I like. I love a game that has a good story. Like you'll see a few things in my collections. Like I have like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And I mean, that game, these are the games that, you're talking about, you played a game for 3 days. These were the games like that, or like the original Deus Ex.
Yep.
These games, it was like, they're so immersive and they got such a good story. And it's like, I'd get home from work, I'd get off duty and I'd get home and I'd be like, I'm just by myself in this apartment in Alaska. And I'm like,
were you around?
Yeah.
But were you guys around for the craze of Myst?
Yeah, I didn't play it. I didn't play it though.
No. But that game was probably like it just caught us so much. That was one of the first games we got on the computer. That was one of the first games we got on the computer. And I remember people from all over there must have been like 20 people at one point in that computer room crowded around. Yeah. And we were sitting in the dark. We would turn the lights off and play that game in the dark and try to figure out all the puzzles and work our way through the story.
Oh yeah.
And I remember like everyone was contributing in the room. They'd be like, maybe you got to move the puzzle this way. You got to do this or that. And it was just like, that was an experience because it was like playing a game, but being in a movie theater at the same time, because we had so many people who were like, John got missed. Let's all go over there.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Missed. I must have missed out on that.
It was
the games but those are the games like I was talking about. Is
with a huge
Knights
story.
of the Republic, Knights of the Republic or Mass Effect or one of those games. It was like I'm gonna go home by myself. I was like, I'm gonna go home and I'm just gonna play like a little bit, and then the next thing I know, the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta go to work.
Yeah, I do remember them nights because, like I said, we're having 3 brothers. We all stay up, and then you know what I mean. You're like, oh no, we got school in the morning.
I was the last games I did that with. Well, I did that with Outlaws. because it was open while I was just exploring. But the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games were like that for me because it's such a good story.
Yeah.
And you just I got to see what goes on next, kind of thing.
Oh, you want to hear a really funny story about being a stupid teenager? So I ended up hanging out with this girl named Lindsay, and one day she said to me, she goes, "Well, I want to come over to your house and play Nintendo." And I was like, "Okay." So I went upstairs and I hooked up the Nintendo and we got it all ready. And we're sitting on the floor playing, and then I was sort of like a gentleman.
Why'd you take your shirt off? We're playing Nintendo here.
Yeah, I was a gentleman when I was a kid, and I didn't
Not
really
me.
I was
really,
as push. I didn't.
No,
push
she's the one to
things.
take it.
Yeah, I didn't really push for things. And stupid me, like we played Nintendo till like midnight or something, and then she's like, "I'm getting kind of tired," and I set her up in that room with a place to sleep, and then I went in my room and went to bed.
John, should we shut the stream off now and I'll talk to you behind the scenes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then like a few weeks later, I'm talking to my friend Dave, and he was like, "Yeah, how's things?" I don't know. I just had a weird thing. Like Lindsay came over to play Nintendo, and he goes, "John," he goes, "Lindsay's key code was play Nintendo for going upstairs to make out," and I was like, "Oh,
did
shit."
he dawn on you? And you went,
and you fool! You actually played Nintendo.
Yeah.
Joe went, oh yeah.
I'm like a dog. I never did. I couldn't go back. I felt such an idiot.
Go back. Oh, brilliant. I couldn't go back. That's fantastic. What's the Contra code? What's that?
Oh, it's the
Down,
Konami.
left,
No, that
right.
was the Konami.
Up, down, left, right. A, B,
start. Yeah, every Konami game had that code. So it worked in Contra.
They even brought that in. What was the one? With the snake. It was like an Easter egg. In,
they brought it into other things. It was in Ready Player One.
Not Ready Player One.
No, talked about it in Ready Player One,
but what was the game? No, it was a game. You sneak around a lot. The guy you play is like he's got like
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, yeah, Metal Gear Solid. There was like you hold it. There was like a girl in it.
Oh, it's like
the Konami code.
Snake guy in it.
Yeah,
Snake. Yeah. Vintage Tourist says there's only one Star Wars game, the original arcade. Nothing is more immersive.
Oh, yeah, that almost made the top 5.
Geek Strong said I had to call in sick because I was playing Clock Tower on PlayStation till 4 a.m. Season Man gave me nightmares. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I tell you,
Dragon, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania. Yeah, they're all the boys.
Castlevania, yeah, the Castlevania game.
I haven't done it in a while, but it used to be like Saturday nights was my night to stay up late and play games. And like I was playing Deus Ex again, and I was in my office downstairs, and Colin was about maybe 6 or 7. He wasn't very old, but he couldn't sleep, and he knew I was awake. So he comes downstairs, and I've got all the lights off. I'm just playing my game, and like the door in my old office was behind me, and I'm sitting there playing this game, and I'm just so into it because, like in Deus Ex, everything happens at night wherever you're at. It's always night, so it's very dark, but the game's very immersive. It's a great game. Well, I'm sitting there and I'm playing the game, and I know there's something up around the corner, and all of a sudden I just hear, "Dad." And I my son had to peel me off the ceiling. I jumped out. I was like, "Oh!" He's like, and Colin, "Dad, you scared me," and I'm like, "Scared you? What are you doing?" Oh my God!
Oh, brilliant. Well, anyway, that's John's number 4. This is your number 4. Awesome.
Oh. Yeah. Let's start. Let me see if I can present those.
I've got him. See if I
okay. Yeah, so basically, it's my Star Wars movie posters. I've got the 10. They're all the theatrical release, and I've got them all in order. It's like, all 9 episodes and Rogue One. As much as I like the Solo movie, I don't want the poster because the art style is so different from that one compared to these. So, yeah, if you just want to scroll through those.
I sure will.
Shabby.
First of all, let me ask you: this Return of the Jedi one, right there, I've seen the seal in it. So is that an original from the?
That is, yeah. Back in the 80s, they used to fold them up and put them in the film canisters.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
these are beautiful. These are really, really nice.
Funny story: when I was taking the picture for this the other night, I had to move like the ghost because it's sitting on my keyboard stand. So I put the ghost out in the hallway and our dog Duncan, because it was a big change in his universe. He's sitting out there barking at my HasLab ghost. That he was like freaking out. And I was like, it's okay, dude.
It's funny you should say that about the solo one, because even the Force Awakens, the sequel trilogies tie in with all these. The
art style for all the episodes 1 and Rogue One, like you can see, they all have that same style.
Yeah,
and that's why that's why I consider this complete. I don't have like the teaser posters. I do have like this one here. This is like the poster from when I was a kid. It came in like, I remember it was Burger King or whatever.
Yep.
But
Wow.
yeah, I've got this. I found this like just a couple of weeks ago in a box.
I've got the ones from Cheers soap, and
then I got
a bunch of.
I really want to go back old school.
Amazing 6 Star Wars movie.
This one here.
Yeah, that's
of course I ruined it. I was coloring the back as it.
I remember those with the colors.
Silly 8-year-old me decided to actually color it in. But
are you
with the Winged Empire best poster ever? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You have the double-sided prequel ones.
I do. I got those in. The hardest ones to get were this Rogue One and the sequel trilogy ones, because it was the fan, because the episodes 1, 2, and 3 I got through the fan club.
Yeah.
So these ones I had to like buy like DVDs and Blu-rays and use the points.
Got you.
Luckily, I had 2 young kids at the time that loved like the Pixar movies and everything else. So I've loaded up on Blu-rays to get the points. But these
when episode 1 and 2 came out, I was still in New York, and I was in. That was the theaters that we camped out at.
Yeah.
So I knew so many people that I got them direct from the theaters. You know what I mean? And I got both the Anakin Vader Shadow one, and then I have the double-sided for episodes 1 and 2 that I got actually directly from the theater managers, because they were supposed to hang them up at the.
These are brilliant, though. I mean, I love the way you've done
episode 3 I had to track down in Seattle, which was
it's a beautiful poster, isn't it? That episode 3, John. It's a really nice poster. That one.
I love those, and those, like you said, they're double-sided. I could put those in a light box.
That's what I would like to do too. Yes,
but they didn't start doing that until like 93. So my original Star Wars one there, the Empire Strikes Back, and my Return of the Jedi ones are not. It's only on the
those are ones
they didn't make them like that back then.
Yeah, they didn't.
I must admit, Matt, it does look good though with your lightsabers and then the figures underneath on a small shot. I think it looks very.
Well, the thing was the figure thing happened like in my place in Colorado. I had them on the wall, and I had the sabers between them. And then this one, and I put like, if you look at the sabers, there's a couple of, just because I have more room, but like you have like the Count Dooku, and it's near like the prequel ones, or like that's the Obi-Wan from episode 1. But I put it up there because I really like that one. But like underneath the Count Dooku one is like my Darth Revan saber.
Yep.
But if you look over by the sequel trilogy ones, there's the I have like Rey's from the end of the last of the. Yeah, so like that, like right there, that's that Vader one there between them, Star Wars and the Return of the Jedi one. That's the Vader from the Legacy Saber from Galaxy's Edge that I have in there. And then the one next to that is my Black Series Kylo Ren. It probably doesn't come out well in the pictures. It doesn't come out in the pictures very well, but I mean I could show it here.
Okay.
Well, the mic's in the way. Let me move the mic. Yeah, you can see it right. Yeah, see right there. So I got that, and the Rey one right there underneath it. Yeah. The dark sabers in there. So yeah, there's the arcade cabinet. Somebody was talking about the Atari Star Wars before.
Brilliant.
But yeah, so the figure thing happened because like here it's like my room is smaller, but the ceiling's higher, so I have a little bit more room on the wall. Unfortunately, I couldn't get all 10 posters on one wall. But so. And have this. I don't think I could do it and have the sabers and stuff, but I had the gap in between, so I found these shelves that would fit there, and I just put figures on there, and the figures in there are all from those movies.
Gotcha.
So if you look at the ones by the Phantom Menace poster, or right there, you see there's like on the left hand side there is all figures from Revenge of the Sith. And then on the right hand side, it's people from Rogue One, and I threw B2EMO in there as well, just because he needed to be by Cassian. I mean, not knowing what happened to that droid for the longest, it was like almost broke me.
It's just
Um,
aren't they? They're
yeah,
brilliant.
but
I
then
love
there's
the way he gets it up.
so I got that's that one. There's the Ray Saber, but the Last Jedi poster. And again, like I said, they're all that same similar style, so they all kind of fit. So I consider this collection complete. I don't mainly because I don't have room for any more posters.
I do like the way you've made the space as well. You know,
I am really trying to maximize the usage of space. So yeah, there's my Black Series Vader helmet. I really like.
Yeah.
And the thing is like there's a button. I have the electronics in there. So there's a little button. If I press it, it starts breathing. There's that helmet there. That's from Mass Effect. But you can see the Anovos helmet, the First Order Stormtrooper above it, and like in the corner there's my Kylo Ren. And a better look at the helmet, my Stormtrooper helmet there on the GEEK kit.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I got my Empire and Jedi through the comic store I worked at when I was young. But I know the Star Wars poster I have. My godfather called up my dad when he was on a trip in Georgia. And he was like, I just went in and saw this movie called Star Wars. You got to take John to go see it. And he goes, and I loved it so much, and I know John's going to like it, that I spoke with the manager at the movie theater, and I got him the poster. So when I get back into town, we're going to hang that poster in his room, and because I know John's going to love this movie. And then it was my mom that took me to the movie, and of course I did. I ended up loving it. So, but it took my godfather like a year before he came over to the house and gave me that poster.
Yeah,
but that was one that he got it for me direct from the movie theater, begging the theater owner, the manager or whatever, that he had to have it for his godson, you know. So that
purchased the original episode 1 movie poster from QVC back in the day. QVC had full episodes, only selling episode 1 items. It was a big event. And Si says, one thing about these two lads, when we rummage around, there's always something good. There's always something. I agree. Yeah, we got on. You know what I mean? Pod Racing Pap says arcade cabinet. What an item! And he says N7 helmet.
Yeah. That's the N7 thing. I wear the N7 shirt a lot when I'm on. I've got a freaking N7 water bottle.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've noticed.
Palps has, Palps got the Revenge. Did you ever come across that, the Revenge of the Jedi poster, Matt?
I have one.
But I wouldn't consider it part of my collection because that was not the theatrical release poster.
Oh, I understand. So you've done it by that, yeah.
I mean, technically it was, but they took it down right away.
I mean, the one I have, it's with Luke holding the lightsaber up in space there. That's what you saw in theaters.
And that's what you went for. Yeah,
and that's what I wanted.
Perfect.
And the bad thing about my Revenge poster is most of my posters are rolled up and they're in poster tubes and they're put away in a cabinet. I can't even get to the cabinet right now. Yeah. And I haven't been able to get to the cabinet in 10 years. There's so much stuff in front of it. But so I haven't seen those things since I moved in. But when I unrolled them after moving in and just double checked everything and was putting up, like some of them I took some pictures of and put up on Instagram way back then, and so there's a few of them that are posted on Instagram if you go back like 10 years, or maybe they're on Twitter. I don't know whichever one it was, but anyways, when I unrolled the Revenge of the Jedi one, there's a circle, like when you rolled it up, the red stuck to the back of the white rolled up part, and it's about the size of a quarter. So the red popped off, and it's now on the back. So there's a quarter size white spot where the red has been all taken off. So I don't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know, and that's what kind of is like. I don't even know. I don't even. It doesn't even feel tacky or sticky, so I don't know how that even happened. But
it probably just got hot wherever it was there, and it was stuck. It happens. It's
probably a lesson to. They probably shouldn't be in tubes rolled up.
Yeah. My arcade cabinet here, it's the arcade 1-up version, George. So it has the Atari Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi on it. So I can play all three
arcade stuff. Right. Well, there you have it. There's your number 4s. Let's get to your number 3s. Number 3, Matthew. What is your number 3?
My number 3. What did I put on this list? list here. Okay. Like we were talking about all the different sabers on the wall, the Force FX sabers. I consider that, like I said before, I consider that different than like the Force FX, the prop replica hilts like this Obi-Wan here. I went with, for this, my favorite of my Force FX sabers is this one that I made from Shabby's.
Wow. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mainly because, I mean, if you go to Galaxy's Edge, I will highly recommend doing this, because it's like they only have like 14 stations in there, so it's you and a +1.
Yep. The experience.
And it's a very immersive experience. I mean, they really suck you into the story. I have a great story about like when we first did this in California with the kids.
Yeah.
Because what happens at first, we went on Star Tours, and on the Star Tours ride, they always show this thing, and it's like like your shuttle gets stopped, and like the Force Orders out there, and we're looking for this rebel spy, and they put up somebody that's in there.
Yeah.
So when we're sitting there in line to go on it, and you're out there and you see the animatronic R2D2 and C-3PO talking, and Colin's like, "Dad, R2D2 and C-3PO are right there," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not breaking the magic for this kid. He's 9 years old.
Yeah,
this is why we're here." And he's like, he's watching this thing. When we get on the ride, and they're like, "We're looking for this rebel spy," and they put up a picture of Colin.
Oh,
and he's sitting there. I was like, "Dude, they're looking for you."
I bet he cheats himself.
What? And then, well, it was like, we go through the ride. Love it is one of my favorite rides at Disney.
Yeah.
And so that's over in Tomorrowland and Disneyland. But then we walk over to Galaxy's Edge because we had appointment. We had a reservation at the cantina and stuff. So we walk over there. It's like on the other side of the park, but we walk over there, and they have this character Vi Marati, and she takes kids around. They go looking for stuff.
Yeah, I remember in the books. She was in the Black Spire Outpost book. Yeah.
He runs right up to her and goes, "I'm the rebel spy." And she's like, "Okay." And I'm right behind him, because when you get to Galaxy's Edge, you're not in Disneyland anymore. You are on Batuu, and I walk up, I'm like, "Vi, we were just on the shuttle at Star Tours, and the First Order tried to stop our shuttle. They were looking, when they put his picture up, they're looking for him." And she goes, "Oh, okay." So she let him lead the group around for a little bit and everything. And then finally I was like, "Hey, Colin, we got to go this way because we got to get to the cantina, because I want to do my Star Wars day drinking." And because we had a reservation, so we go and do that, and then we go over to Savi's, and now we're standing over there, and Kylo Ren and the 2 First Order stormtroopers show up, and he's hiding behind me. He's like, "Is that they're looking?" I was like, "Colin, you want your picture taken with Kylo Ren?" And he's like, no, they're looking for me. I was like, "I guarantee he's not going to notice you. We can go up there and get your picture taken with him." Because even the cast members at Savi's are all like acting nervous and everything. They're really playing into this. And Colin's like, "No, Dad, I can't. I was like, "All right, maybe we'll try later." And I was like, hopefully we'll see him walking around later. And so then we go in and we do the whole Savi's thing, and they don't know what's going on. I've seen the show. I kind of spoiled myself, because it was like, at first I was like, "I'll let the kids do it. I don't need to do it." And then I watched it get done. I was like, I went. It's like, I got to do that too, kind of thing. And so we do the whole thing, and the whole. I mean, they get to the showdown. He's got his own lightsaber, and now Colin's like, "All right, I'm a Jedi now. We got to take the fight to the." He was ready to walk out there and kick the shit out of Kylo Ren. And I'm like, "Hold on, buddy. We can have a talk. I don't want to get kicked out of Disneyland on our first day because my."
It's funny though, isn't it? Because we all,
Kylo Ren.
but I bet a kid loves Galaxy's Edge. He must do.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I love Galaxy's Edge. I've always said I kind of feel sorry for Wendy, because she's basically raising 3 boys alone, and I'm the biggest kid of the 3 of us. And I was like, when I come to this, I mean, the thing is like, with the blade in, you hear this and it lights up. It's great, but I can take the blade out, and it's like you turn it on, it shorts out. And the beauty of this is, I mean, because like for the price of it, it's like about $250 to do this, which is about the price for a.
But it's the experience too, though, right, Matt?
And you have this really intimate, immersive experience. It is absolutely a fantastic show. If you don't ever think you're going to do it, I had Wendy record the experience, and I edited it into a video on my channel. Another thing that I wanted to show the family, and it ended up, oh my God, I have a YouTube channel now. But like, the beauty of it is this other part of it here is you open it up and there's kyber crystal inside. Okay.
Yeah, you can pop it out and put a different one in.
Wow.
Okay, and it's because you pick your crystal in there. So I mean, you have blue, green,
Red.
or red. And but the thing is you go over to Doc Ondar's, which there's never been a place more ready to separate me from money.
Yep.
You get this hologram.
Well, look, yep.
The thing is like I can put this in this here. Okay, so now it's the crystals in here. So now it's they're attached to a Jedi, and this is the one I got.
Oh, right. So the crystals you're using
The crystals I have, yeah. But the fact that I pulled as an Obi-Wan focus in my collection, and this is the crystal I picked in Savi's.
Don't give in to hate. That leads to the dark side.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, holy crap!
Cannot escape your destiny.
You know, I pulled, you know,
The Obi-Wan, yeah.
I pulled the Obi-Wan crystal. But you know, and then you go and you can get different crystals. Like I got a ton of these. But you know,
so each crystal plays a different character and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so this one,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
And there's actually, if you pick enough red ones, eventually you'll get a black one.
Yeah, not anymore.
And
They
if
don't sell
you
these
get,
style
I
anymore.
think it was it in the blue or the purple? It might have been the purple. You would get a white one eventually. So I managed to get them all. I've got every color.
Yeah, I know. I'm missing the black one.
Like putting that in, Martin says he still hasn't been the rebel spy. He's even asked the guy who lets you on the ride if he can be a spy. Still no. No, not yet.
But here's the thing. Now I've put a red crystal in here. Oh, you know what? I think the batteries are going in this. No, it'll work. I think what it is.
No, it's supposed to light up. Yeah,
There you go.
There you go. There you go. And it goes
So
red.
now it's red, but the sounds are different.
Yeah.
Wow.
It changes everything.
So,
yeah.
So I mean, as far as the batteries are going in this. Of course, I should have changed them yesterday, but I didn't. But yeah, so I mean, as far as Force Effects lightsabers, we've done the Savi's lightsaber experience twice. We did it once in California and we did it once here. So I have another one that's like a different style than this. And
I'm considering
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, when we go in November, it's like my mom has been dying to go, and she's coming with us to go to in November.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm real. If I have the money to splurge on her, I was gonna buy her the Savi experience just so she can build her own lightsaber and go through that experience, because I did it with mine. I've got mine hanging on the wall over there, and I loved it. Like you said,
but they have all new pieces, so you can't make this one anymore.
Oh, so they change them after a while.
They changed it about 2 years ago, and so I mean they still have the 4 different styles, but now all the pieces are different. Like you can't get this Rancor tooth anymore. It's a shame because it makes a wonderful back scratcher.
Yeah.
But it's like I have my other one that I have is like protection and defense. It really looks like something from like the High Republic would use, or so. It looks almost ancient.
High Republic,
and it's like silver, not silver, but like a kind of a pewter with a gold inlay on it. It is a beautiful looking saber, and it's like, and that's what Colin picked when we were in California. At Disneyland, that's the kind of style he did. So I did it the second time, and he picked a different. We all picked different styles, and but it was really just like I said. It is an absolutely wonderful experience. I mean, even if it's not something you normally collect. Oh, you went Power and Control.
Yeah, I went very traditional. Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, it is an absolutely wonderful immersive experience. I can't recommend it enough.
Size says, question: if I go to the Falcon ride at Galaxy's Edge, do I get to choose to pilot the Falcon, or is it already chosen for you? Because I'd kick off if I wasn't.
Well,
it
depends on your group. If you go with like a group, they give it out. There's 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 engineers. And if you work it out, like the last time I did the ride, it was just myself and Colin, and we were the only 2 in the group, so we were both pilots.
Yeah.
So but if you're with a group of 6 people, just say, hey, I want to be the pilot, and they'll give it to you. But if you're like, if it's like you, and if you go single rider and it's going to be like you and 5 other people, there's a good chance you're not going to be the pilot.
Can you
Yeah.
make the lightsaber whip yet? I bet that'll be next with all the LEDs and so on.
No,
And
they don't have
treasures,
anything
yeah.
like that, and I'm kind of glad they don't.
John, what's your number 3, buddy?
All right, number 3. Let's go with that. So when I was a kid, one of my very first, this is before Star Wars, before G.I. Joe. This is one of the very first action figures that I ever got as a child. And when we started getting Star Wars and G.I. Joe and things like that, I think it was when we started getting Star
Mr.
Wars.
B.
Really, this was named before G.I. Joe. So we started getting Star Wars and stuff. And when we didn't realize that the droids had sort of a number designation. So my brother came up with this idea that this guy, for whatever reason, was going to be named Max Rebo.
Right.
Or yeah, I do think we had it actually as Max Rebo. I think we had the whole name. And or maybe it was like Rebo Maximus or Robo Maximus or something like that, but it was very close to Max Rebo if it wasn't Max Rebo. And then when the freaking Return of the Jedi came out and we saw Max Rebo and the Max Rebo band, we were like, they stole our name. Like we were laughing around about how they stole our name. And our character of Max Rebo growing up was this guy.
Wow,
and this is a Metal Man. This is from the Metal Men series of action figures. And I believe this started in 1974 or 5, I want to say.
Metal Man. Wow.
And they're all solid die-cast metal action figures.
Who made them, John?
Points. And I can't remember who made them, but they had plastic backpacks. And they have like, there's a UFO, which I have over there in the cabinet. And they did a like space shuttle kind of looking thing. It's not really a space shuttle, but it's sort of like a triangular rounded spaceship. That was the good guy one.
Don't mean to interrupt. I'll be back in like 2 seconds, okay?
And so this has always had a prize spot. Now, this is not the exact Max Rebo that I had when I was a kid. The one that I had as a kid, I can grab because it's still over there in the cabinet. But I had to seek out and get a complete one that was in good shape because the one that I have, his arms are broke off.
I've never seen it before.
And I now have a pretty good sized collection of Metal Men because as an adult, this was the only one I had when we were kids. But as an adult, I was like, I want to have this line because it was something that was so important to me and my brother. It was
How many figures were there, John? How many was there?
There may have been like 10 different metal figures. I've got 7 or 8 of them over there, and I've got 2 of the ski pods. I've got the UFO, and I've got the shuttle like spaceship.
No way.
And they're
that's
all
that's the thing about you, Johnny boy. You don't know what you're gonna show. Do you know what I mean?
They've got all different styles of these kind of robot die-cast metal guys, and they were just called the Metal Men, you know. And
yeah,
I want to say it's something like Tyco or Tonka or something like that made these, but I offhand I just really don't remember.
While you're talking, you've got a question here. It says, behind John, is E.T. touching Crumb inappropriately on his
It looks more like me and my brother when we were kids. Am I annoying you? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Yeah, it looks like he's sticking his finger in his ear, right? Yeah.
Is a UFO that is identified as a flying object? And if it lands, is it just an object?
Yeah. It's an unidentified landed object.
Oh, brilliant. So are you going to, have you still got all of them or just that one?
This little backpack has a little button here, and you can pop open the wings.
So would you say you try and get hold of all of them, or the are together? Because I've never seen it. No.
They are pretty hard. They are pretty difficult to get a hold of in good shape, because they're so old and they're just something that not a lot of people collected because they were before the time of Star Wars and stuff. It was one of the few like 3.75-inch things that existed before. And I almost feel like this is like an evolution of the like Micronauts and things like that. You know what I mean? Because I know.
Have you seen them before, Matt? Have you seen them?
Micronauts were before.
They kind of look a lot. They kind of look like Micronauts. You know, I had a bunch of Micronauts and adventure people before Star Wars.
Yeah, they were.
I had like the big, like I had the old GI Joes, like the 12-inch figures. They were like, I guess you know, like they were Action Man in the UK kind of thing.
Yes,
yeah. But the Action Man is like what was it like last week? Keith was showing off The different
Yeah,
action.
yeah. All the
action-
action
I
man
mean,
they
we
got,
had
yeah.
nothing like that. Like I had one guy, he was like in jungle camo, and I just used them to use like he did commando
Was that
raids at my
Big
sister's
Jim?
Barbie dream house and stole the Corvette.
Oh, it stole the Corvette.
Yeah,
Absolutely
just going,
brilliant.
raping and pillaging his way through the through my sister's Barbie dream house.
Oh, well, there you have it. So there's the
Like-
lads. Oh, hang on.
Here's the actual one that I had as a kid. This is the actual one. I still have it. So as you can see, the arm got ripped off, and this is ripped at the joint.
Are those
I
metal?
lost the backpack. Yeah, they're metal.
Oh wow.
They're actual all metal. But other guys in
Mr.
the
B.
line look like this guy. You know what I mean? Like this is another one of the robots in the line.
That looks
And
like
You never
Rom.
see these.
And he
ever.
Remember the
rides on
comic?
this.
Remember the Marvel comic Rom Space Knight? That's what that guy looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
VTR's got
rides
the
on this
old
sky
one, hasn't
sled thing. You know, he came with a sky sled that he rides around on. You know, so it's like a little. They were just cheap little.
Cheap.
Cool.
They're made out
Yeah.
of freaking metal.
Yeah, but and it's
Oh,
something
Mr.
that
B remembers him. Mr. B remembers what they are.
yeah, it's something that I have a big nostalgia for because of this guy and my brother and I naming it something like that. It was like Robo Max or Max Robo or something like that. And then we were like, when we saw the Max Rebo band, we laughed and said, Star Wars stole our name, you know. And
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
but I have no idea what he's really named. Like I think it's like Quadar or Questar or Quetar.
Vidar.
Yeah.
There's a homework assignment.
Like it's he's something like that. But yeah,
Yeah, VTR's a big fan. Have you seen him before,
But
VTR?
I love them because they're just so interesting
No.
and weird, and I love robots and stuff.
So what are we looking at there? 70s, early 70s?
Yeah, they were 70s. Yeah,
Early 70s, right. There you go. They
I'd
weren't
say, like,
popular, Mr. B says, but my
mid-70s,
brother and I
yeah.
had a couple of them. Right, okay, right. Wow. It's amazing. I've never seen it before in my life. Awesome. Well, there you have it. Let's get to number 2. So we're at number 2, and I've got some
Poor
photos
Martin.
of this.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So do you want to explain what this is?
Yeah. One of the things I have as far as like the TVC that I really like is it really is like because I love models and stuff, and basically the ships for me are just easy to put together models. And you know, as a kid, you know, I didn't feel like, you know, between me and my best friend, we had everything Star Wars. And so he had the Millennium Falcon, I had the Death Star, stuff like that. So I never felt like I was missing out on not having the Millennium Falcon myself. But, you know, it was like years later when I got back into collecting, I was like, really, I got to get a Falcon.
You're so awesome.
And I got the first like Power of the Force 2 version, which was basically the vintage mold. But in 2008, when they came out with this Falcon, I was like, I have to get
This
it.
is the legacy one, isn't it? The legacy.
This is the Legacy Falcon. It came out. I remember the day it was coming out. I was working. I was in training for my job as a crew commander for GPS. And I got off a mid shift at 6 a.m. and I drove from base. I had to drive all the way. I drove to the nearest Walmart and found one on the shelf. It was this and the ATTE were sent out at the same time. And I was like, I got to have this one. So I got it. I came home and I immediately went down into our basement and started putting it together. I couldn't sleep. You know, I was like a kid at Christmas with this thing.
Yeah.
And if you notice, one thing in my collection, I pointed this out to Martin when he's here, is like every ship I have here has a pilot in it for the most part. Like all my Jedi fighters have Jedi in them. My ATTs are crewed. I've got like my Imperial Walker is crewed up, but I decided with this one I had to I made it into, because it's not like you're flying this thing around as a toy, but I did kind of make it a place that, like you can see here, I have.
Well,
like
it was
the
one.
training scheme.
It has been since the 70s, hasn't it, John and Matt? This is a playset, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
But so I these guys are in there all the time. That's the new. As a matter of fact, I just put him in there for this picture because I just got them. Is the new that's the VC
TVC one.
the new TVC version. So that's the Han Solo that comes with it. I put him in the gunner chair. Like I said,
Did
I
you
have,
ever
like,
get this,
different
John?
themes.
Did you ever get this legacy one?
No,
No,
wouldn't
neither have
get
I.
it.
Never got it.
No,
But
never
I mean,
got it.
the electronics and stuff on this, and I mean, this was $150 when it came out, and
Yeah.
it's worth every penny.
And it's I remember
absolutely love
only
it.
one making a video comparing it to the Galaxy, and it's exactly the same
Yeah.
except for a couple of differences, isn't
Oh,
it?
well, it's well, you
Same mold.
the Galaxy's Edge version, you can switch the sounds and you can do stuff like it's got some Smuggler's Run sounds in it. You can swap the sensor dish. It's got the rectangular dish, but everything it's a little more weathered. But yeah, this is basically this like so yeah, like that's like one of the few Empire Strikes Back scenes in there. I have like Leia.
And that's
heading
all it
to
was
Luke.
at the start, 150. That's all it
and
was.
then in the cockpit I have it. It's like because that's where they spent most of the Empire Strikes Back was the Leia, Chewie, Han, and I put Lando in the escape pod. And honestly though, if they used this mold and made like a solo version, like how when Lando owned the Falcon, I would jump at it.
Si says, "Am I right? You're thinking that's a lot bigger than the?" Yeah, it is. It's a lot bigger.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot bigger. It's. I mean, this thing is like, what is that, about 2.5 feet long? I have a picture. So I think I did it. It's on my Instagram. If you go back and look, I compared this with the Razor Crest and one other ship. I think it might have been the Queen Starship that I have. And I have like, I mean, that's one thing I really love are the spaceships. Like I have like, back here, I have the Star Speeder 3000. I absolutely love that thing. Just the nostalgia of the ride and what they did. But I've got like the skiffs. I've got 2 versions of the Big Slave 1, TIE Bomber, TIE Fighters, gunship, the Razor Crest, the Ghost. But I mean, it really comes down to is the Falcon it's more than just a ship. It's a character in the movies.
100% agree. 100%.
So, I mean, as far as if I'm going to look at all the ships that I own, this one is leaps and bounds #1 in my collection. I just love it. I'm
surprised, John, you never got this.
I mean, it's sitting right here. I still have I have batteries in it. So it's like,
yeah, let's have a look. Make it big a sec. Then you can see the scale of it now, Si. Look, see? It's a flying playset. Yeah, you're right, Phil.
You not look like much, but you got the word count, kid.
Brilliant. Absolutely. Do you think they'll ever better it? I don't think they will, that one. I mean,
no, it's going to be, they'll be hard pressed to do another Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah, big, that size of it. Yeah, because I remember the Force Awakens one, and the back came off it, and it had a nerve gun in it. And I still got it, and I thought,
I got that one. I got that one for Colin because he was about 5 years old when the Force Awakens came out, and I was like, well, I'll get him this Falcon so he could play with it because he would come down and press the buttons on this one in my office a lot, and it was like, you can't fly it around, buddy. It's got to stay on the table.
What surprised him now, though, because the Galaxy's Edge one went for about, was it 400? That one
it was about 400.
Yeah. So this must be.
Well, the thing was that one because they sold that in Targets.
Yeah.
And it went fast. That was supposed to be like a park exclusive. It was supposed to be able to pick it up in the Disney parks. Yeah, here you go, Des. Yeah. It lights. There's like little lights right here that light up when it goes in. But
awesome.
Like
awesome. John, I'm surprised you never got one of them. That's still surprising.
Yeah, I know. I think what it was is that I was collecting at that time. I remember going to Toys R Us with my friends in that era, 2008, 2010, 2011. And it was. I wonder if it was just the $150 that just got us not to buy it. You know what I mean?
What year was it? 2004. This came out. I think it was.
No, 2008.
2008. Right.
And it was probably just the price tag at the time that made it so I never got it. You know what I mean? Because we would go into Toys R Us and buy 1 or 2 figures like every week, my friends and I, that we, back then, but we weren't, I don't remember buying a whole lot of ships at that point,
So well detailed. It really is. Absolutely perfect. Let's have a look. Best thing for the Force Awakens one is to throw a blanket on it and pretend it's Dales does it say, damn it, landed on my foot. Brilliant. Rhino says if Hasbro did another Falcon as a HasLab, he'd buy it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, if I could get that Galaxy's Edge version, for a decent price, I'd jump on it.
Yeah, you don't see them around.
I tried to get that one when it came out, but it was just impossible. It was gone like that. Bots bought those things up just to resell them. It was a shame.
Johnny boy, what's your number 2?
Number 2. All right. So when I was a kid and we were playing with our Star Wars guys, Mom would take us to the store and oftentimes just buy us a random figure. And I remember once I didn't have enough aliens for the cantina. So I said, I need to get more aliens. And I saw this thing on the shelf and I bought it. And for the longest time, I had no clue what it was. It was just because I think when I bought it, I didn't pay attention to the packaging. I just ripped it open, took the figure out, and started playing with it with my Star Wars guys. It's a 5 POA lizard creature. And later on, and now this thing got lost over time. But I distinctly remember playing with it as a kid. And when I got back into collecting in the early to mid 90s and, was selling at Star Trek conventions with my friend and stuff, I kept an eye out everywhere looking for this lizard thing because I had no clue what line it was from. And I was like, I've got to get this lizard person back in my collection. I could never figure it out. And it must have took me like 10 or 15 years before I finally found the lizard woman. It was a lizard woman from Flash Gordon. Gordon? I have her loose up in my Flash Gordon collection, but it's the only Flash Gordon that I have on card because of that story of having her as a child.
And she's actually called Lizard Woman.
Yes, Lizard Woman.
Brilliant.
And as an adult, this is another character that got me to go back and collect the whole line of Flash Gordon because I ended up realizing that all the Flash Gordon figures are cool, but for some reason, this is the only one I had when I was a kid because the lizard woman went in my cantina with the other aliens to flesh it out with more aliens. So I was going around as a kid collecting alien figures and things that looked like they may have been in the cantina just because the movie showed so many different monsters and aliens and stuff. But the line only gave us, 4, So that's why I ended up buying this lizard woman.
Mattel did them as well, John. Mattel.
Yeah, it was Mattel.
VTR says he'd love to find some 3.75 Flash Gordon figures.
Yeah, and originally there were 6 characters in the line, but then they expanded it to 8. And I've got them all up in the cabinet above.
That's a great picture.
You've got them all, John, yeah.
This is the only carded one, but I have them all loose.
Wow.
I just think it's funny. Like some biologist is going to come across this video and see that figure and just lose it.
Yeah.
It's like a lizard, but it's got mammal stuff on it.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a female.
It's just what made me laugh was like, wait, it was some sort of lizard woman. Then the actual name is Lizard Woman. Brilliant. What should we call it?
They were so original back then.
Yes, smoking the cigars. What should we call it? I know. We'll call it Lizard Woman. I'd spend a monkey on that, rather 500 on the gunship, says Si. That's a great card back. Yeah, it is a great card.
I know,
back.
it's great. I mean, you got look at the Ming on that. It was like he's green.
Did you do any vehicles or play sets for this line, John?
No, there is one ship for Ming. It's a green, like Flash Gordon-y looking spaceship, and that's the only vehicle that they did, and it's really bad looking. It's really cheesy, really bad. It almost looks like it doesn't belong with the line. It's so horrible.
Yeah.
But because it's so bad,
it's
nearly impossible to find complete.
Yeah.
Like you can find a shell once in a while, and the shell will either be broken or discolored from time. But it's like to find a complete one and really in good shape that isn't all messed up it's nearly impossible. And I do hope to have the ship someday to go with the figures.
I remember at Joe Fest, you showed me there was some loose Flash Gordon. I asked you what they were. A guy only had a couple. Flash Gordon's fairly obvious in it with the red and the black and whatever.
Yeah.
There was a few right there, and you were telling me about them, but I didn't know you had them all carded. Did you ever get into Flash Gordon, Matt? Did you ever get these figures?
No, no. I had like one figure from like Clash of the Titans. It was the guy they turned into like the monster that Zeus turned into the monster.
Yes, PGM. It is anatomically correct. Yeah.
Yes.
PTM, brilliant.
Oh, God.
Absolutely brilliant. Funny though, because we talk
yeah,
about
I
Star
mean,
Wars,
yeah.
but then we realize, don't we? There's Buck Rogers, there's Flash Gordon,
Yeah.
there's
Well, I mean,
Star
it
Trek,
wasn't
there's
for.
Fisher
I mean,
Price.
that was what George Lucas was
Influenced
trying to
him,
was trying to replicate. It was like the old serials that he watched, and that's what he was doing with Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all that. It was, it's amazing, the influences it had. Like I'm watching like on Apple Plus the show Foundation. He took a lot of ideas from that, or you look at like Dune. I mean, it's kind of ironic, it was like he took a lot of inspiration from Dune or Foundation and Kurosawa, like the Seven Samurai and all that, but it put it in Star Wars, and then Star Wars was so successful they actually went and decided to try to make a Dune movie.
Yeah.
And the David Lynch version, which is a little, it's.
I love it for its time, and for
its time, it was good, but I got to admit, Denis Villeneuve just blew it out of the water.
Oh,
I mean, because like the whole
they cut so much out of that. They cut so many important parts from the books
and everything was such. I mean, when they cut, like, not to get on a soapbox here, but when they take an elaborate hand-to-hand fighting style, which is the weirding way, and they turn it into a voice box that shoots bullets.
Yeah.
And then everything is like they're just whispering and all talking in their head, all this exposition about what they're going to do. And it's like,
they tried.
I'm not for its day. It was good, but I mean, like I said, Denis Villeneuve has blown David Lynch's version out of the water.
JT says, did Mattel use drawings on all their car? But you know what? I never thought about this, but you're exactly right, because all the old Mattel He-Man was all drawn.
It's beautiful. I mean, He-Man has some of the best artwork on toy packaging ever.
Yeah. I mean, they did the same. Look at like the original 12-back Kenner figures. I mean, it's all drawings, and
that was drawings.
It's fantastic. And then later on they went to the.
Go on, man. I'm sorry, mate. Go on.
No, it's okay. I was like, later on they went with photographs.
Those were all drawings on the back.
I mean, all drawings, but I never would have thought about that until JC said it, and I was thinking, I thought, you know what, he's exactly right. Do you know what I mean? The Mattel must have done that back then, because they were all drawn. I used to love watching the old Buster Crab Flash Gordon series during the old school holidays. Yeah, brilliant.
But then I mean, then the '80s movie came out, and it's Max von Sydow is Ming, and
brilliant. Like, that was my first cookie store,
so
Princess Aurora
kind of thing.
Oh, that Princess Aurora, when I was a kid, I just had it so bad for her. I thought she was absolutely gorgeous. I remember the cartoon Flash Gordon. Martin says, as a kid with yellow droids as Ming's truth. I believe.
That's actually the cartoon is what this toy line morphed into. You'll notice the drawings are very much like that cartoon.
It's almost like the comic books of the day too.
Yeah. So that cartoon basically was what these figures. I don't know if I don't know if the cartoon was based on the figures and came out later, if the cartoon was first and then the figures came. I don't really know the order.
It is, pals.
But it is related to that cartoon in some way. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's get to your number, because I know where John's got to go somewhere. So we got a number one straight away. Here we go. First of all, we've had nearly over 40 people practically all night, so I want to thank everybody for listening to Matt and John. You two have been brilliant tonight. I've loved it. I've honestly brilliant.
It's been fun. It's been fun. This is great.
So you've been great. But let's get to your number one. So John, your number one, please, pal.
Well, my number one has a pretty neat story behind it, and it kind of is one of those things that was helping me get back into collecting. So when I grew up with all those figures you saw, and it got me into Star Wars when I saw the movie. And then I went right from Star Wars. Star Wars was ending in, 83, 84. It was dying out. And that's right when 84 is right when I got into G.I. Joe. So I got into G.I. Joe late and had to go back and collect the earlier, like 82, 83 stuff.
Right.
By tracking them down at like random stores that we found that just had old stock and stuff. And but we were all in on G.I. Joe and Transformers, and then into He-Man, and going all that way, getting like pretty much everything, Mask, Starcom, like all that stuff. And by the time I hit like 15 or so, I started going to rock concerts. I got more into girls and understood that when they wanted to play Nintendo, it meant they wanted to, so it got more into like, the toys and games kind of moved aside. And I
Yeah.
was more going to rock concerts and doing stuff with that. And then at 16, I got my own car so I could drive myself to rock concerts. And we were going to Aerosmith and Poison and White Snake and Warrant and all those 80s hair bands, like Motley Crue, like everything we saw. And then we got into going to Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Metal Church, like all that stuff, and total metalheads, total 80s metalhead kids. And then it had to be 90 or 91. My dad gets me a gag gift. I always wanted an AT-AT. He buys me a $5 AT-AT that he got at KB Toys and wraps it for my birthday, puts it on the kitchen table with a note on it saying, "This is a joke. You always wanted it when you were a kid, but we could never get it. But your real gift will come when you get home from school."
Right.
So I quickly unwrapped it, ate breakfast, saw it was an AT-AT, went to school, flipped out with all my friends. Like 3 or 4 of us came running back home to my house after school, and we unboxed that AT-AT and put it together, and we were playing with that all day. That thing sticks in my head so much that I don't even remember what the real present was. The gag gift that he bought was more fun than the real gift. And it got us back, my friend Nofrio and I, it got us back into collecting. We went in the attic and we found all the old toys and we started bringing them out, and we started buying and selling like toys we found so that we had money to get our stuff for our own collections, to rebuild our Star Wars collections, rebuild Transformers and G.I. Joe and things we had as a kid. And this is like now 91, 92. I start getting into collecting Batman the Animated Series. I get Power Rangers. So we're buying modern stuff and starting to collect things that come out through the early 90s. But people around town start getting to know that guy down the road buys Star Wars and buys toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And these new people moved in up the road, and they're cleaning out the house, and they get to the attic, and in the rafters, they see a Christmas present shoved up in there. They just see the corner of like this paper, and they pull it out, and they found a wrapped Christmas gift. And they tear open the top of the thing, and they see the top of this Star Wars card. So they come down to the house and they go, "We heard you guys, you're into like buying old figures and stuff from your childhood. Would you purchase this from us?" And it was still in the Christmas wrap. I actually wish to this day that I'd kept the Christmas wrap because of this story. And I pull it out, and it turns out to be a Darth Vader original Wolfpack.
Ooh.
And it was still in the wrapping paper, like that was shoved up in the rafters.
You must have just forgot all about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they must have completely forgot about it. They didn't give it to maybe they thought they lost it. So some poor kid at Christmas didn't get his Darth Vader. But then
you made John very happy.
15 years later, I end up getting that kid's Darth Vader as an old toy. And I remember at the time, I thought there was no way I was going to be able to get this figure because I've always been an honest, upfront person, and I knew at the time this figure was selling for anywhere between $100 to $150.
Wow!
And older, I said, I up to that point had never spent more than $60 for a carded figure. Even my Jedi Knight Luke was $60, and I had bought like a few of them up to this point, but I didn't have nowhere near the collection I have today. But I told her, I said that, you should be able to at least get $100, and I don't have the money to buy it for $100. I'd love to have it, but I don't have the money. But I can get in touch with people in my Star Wars club and other around the neighborhood. I could find someone to give you the money for it, And she just looked at me and said, "Well, you're being so upfront, and I can tell you really want this thing. Would you give me like $40 for it?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I said, "Okay, sure." And I had to go to Dad and be like, "Can I get $40?"
Imagine if he said no.
And he's like, "Yeah." So he pays her the $40. I had the money, but I just didn't have cash on me. You know what I mean? So we paid the lady, and then I ran to the bank and the next day and got money from my dad to give it back to him. But it was like, that's that's how I ended up with this, my very first 12-back Star Wars figure.
Wow.
And then this kind of launched me into the idea that I could eventually get most of the figures and try to get them on their original cards. And now I've got maybe 5 or 6 of the 12 backs.
Wow.
And then some of the other figures are on, the 21 or 20 or 21 backs, and going up through Empire and into Jedi and stuff. And now I've got 56. Yeah. I've got 56 of the carded figures in my collection.
Phil says some bad boy didn't get his present.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if he's watching this now.
Some poor kid, yeah. That was on Parker Road in Marion, New York. So now if some poor person's watching, that was my figure, damn you.
Hunting you down, John.
That's awesome.
So this has always had a special place in my collection, a special place in my heart, just because it's got that interesting Christmas story about it.
Brilliant story.
And then also that it was the first 12-back that I ever got. And it was something that I never thought I'd be able to ever get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to this day, if I didn't get this Darth Vader in this situation, I still don't think I would own a Darth Vader on a 12-back.
Yeah.
Because they've always been outside of my range of what I'm comfortable to spend. And now some of these things go for over 1,000 or more.
Oh, yeah. It's what Des says. He says, just to show there's still treasures hiding in. Oh,
yeah.
100% Des.
So, and I'm just so thankful to have this and grateful that this happened to me. And you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't know any other way I would have ever gotten something like this. So it's a valued treasure that's always been in my collection and always will be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard pressed for me to pick something else as a number one. We were talking about beforehand, and there's not many items like this that I really have that connection to. That's not only an awesome, cool item that everyone it's almost like a grail piece in a lot of people's collection.
Yeah, it's like what me, you, and Matt discussed before, and everyone says it. I think everyone that's come on top 5, they're guaranteed what the number one is. It's always the rest of them that they're umming and ahhing about.
But it's also just what it means to me being in the collection and the story and all the stuff around it.
Great story.
Yeah.
Martin says sometimes people have a lot of treasures in their loft, and Si says like VTR does. He's a treasure up a loss. He said, JT says there's some guy out there telling us about how their Christmas was ruined
because they never got a Darth Vader. Yeah.
Mr. B says the collector shop I go to has one of those selling for $1,300. So there you go. Yeah. My loft is loaded with treasures. I need to convert my loft. Brilliant. That's an awesome number one, John. What's your number one, Matt?
Well, I got to go back. This is summer of '78, and we're on a trip across country, driving across country, long days in the car, and my parents got me my very first Star Wars figures just for something to play with in the car, and I have this Luke here, who is
your actual childhood.
This is he only has 4 points of articulation because his head fell off. I had to glue it back on. I've had to redraw his eye in there, so it looks like he's got a black eye. He is talk about loose figure. It's
that's just like my Chewbacca.
Super loose figure here.
The thing is, though, you could go out and buy $1,000 card one, and it won't mean to you as much as that one does.
Oh,
I couldn't. I probably could go down to the flea market. I couldn't get $1.50 for this thing, but to me, it's priceless.
Yeah,
because without this figure, I wouldn't have. I mean, this is what started all of this.
Yeah.
So I mean, it really comes down to the 7-year-old kid getting his first Star Wars figure. I mean, it's just
it does mean a lot to us, Star Wars, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
So,
and I think that's why we get so passionate now in it about we get pissed off and we get this.
That's
that.
I still remember the first time that when my dad took my brother and I and my cousin David, because we to go see this movie called Star Wars that people were talking about. We were on vacation on the Jersey Shore. Wow. And we went and saw it in the theater, and I was like, I'm a 6-year-old kid. I've just finished kindergarten. I can't read that fast. My dad has to read the opening crawl to me so that I could know what was going on. And when I remember, I didn't know who the good guys or bad guys were until Darth Vader walked on the screen. Oh, those guys in the white are the bad guys.
Yeah.
So it was like, just trying to figure that out. And it was, because there was so much that goes on in there for a 6-year-old kid. It's a sensory overload. And I mean, just seeing that movie and especially if you think, I mean, granted, I was a 6-year-old kid, I didn't really know what was going on in the world and stuff. But if you think about what was going on in our country at that time with, Carter was like a managed decline kind of thing. Our best days were behind us sort of stuff. And even nothing, there was a lot. If you look at like the gas shortages and everything else, there just wasn't. I mean, the biggest movie the year before was Jaws, which is a fantastic movie. But I saw that in the drive-in scared. I didn't want to go to the beach.
Matt, I'm just going to put this up. This is one of the comments of the night. VTR said Matt would be showing his childhood Vader, but for some reason he never got it.
No, my childhood Vader's over on the table.
Oh, brilliant, Dave.
That is awesome, Dave. Yeah, that's awesome.
Wouldn't that be something if Matt went, wait a minute, I grew up on Parker Road up the road. What are you talking about?
I remember that wrapping paper.
I was down in the Hudson Valley. It's not totally.
Brilliant. But so really, both of you have picked nostalgia as your number ones. It says nostalgia.
I mean, without this, I don't think I'd have any of the other stuff. I mean, it was like, it was my love of. I mean, it was like before this, I had Micronauts, I had Adventure People, the Mego, like Batman and Robin, Spider-Man, all those toys. Those were I like. But when I was just the perfect age. I was the target audience for Star Wars in '77.
Yeah.
It blew me away. After that, it was everything for me was Star Wars for like the next 6 years. I mean,
and you can believe it because even now you look behind you at your age and there it all is, and you tell your stories about Galaxy's Edge and go into the movies.
And I love it. Every time. I mean, people go, "Oh, it's the sequels and everything else." You know what? It's still Star Wars for me. I mean, I mean, I will never hate the sequel trilogy because the Force Awakens was the first movie I got to take Colin to a theater to see Star Wars.
Same as my little girl and boy, yeah.
My son to see Star Wars in a theater because like one of my most memorable memories from when I was a kid was when my dad took us to see this movie Star Wars, and there's so much about it happening.
I've always said it, whether people like the sequels or not, the aura around The Force Awakens, the year before and the year after, was one of the best Star Wars experiences ever. It was brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, and like The Last Jedi was the one I got to take Rowan to for the first time. So it was like I got to take both my kids to go see a Star Wars movie. So I'll never. I mean, are they my favorite movies? No. But
it's the thing that goes with it. Exactly right.
Those are the movies I got to take my kids to go see in a theater. So it's like I will never hate them.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the story I would have told? No, but they didn't ask me to write it.
Exactly. And I agree. It's the whole thing around it. But then there you go. There you have it. There is our John's and our Matt's top 5. Absolutely brilliant, loved it, absolutely loved it. So have any of you got anything coming up that you want to talk about before we go?
Go ahead, John.
No, I mean, I've got a number of videos lined up here on the coffee table that I want to get to, but it's just, thank you guys for supporting the channel and keeping with it. And I'm really slowly approaching that 5,000 mark. I think I need literally it might be like 10 or 15 more subs. So it's getting very close, So
brilliant, John. Yeah,
I'm pretty
both
happy.
Awesome. I watch your channels. I watch them both. I mean, ever since you've come along the scene, I've supported you both and watching both. Brilliant channels.
Appreciate
brilliant. Mint Lars showed some top stuff. Yeah. Please subscribe. We have a Patreon if you'd like to join. That helps the channel grow, so we can make live streams like this. But apart from all that, awesome. Me and Si will be back on Wednesday. Me and Si are going to do a stream on Wednesday. I haven't spoke to our Si, just me and him for a while. So me and Si are going to do that. And on Friday, we'll be on Tez's channel. And next week's top 5 is Matt and Tez. Matt and Tez, a ZSR top 5 next week. So we'll be doing that.
It's going to be all ZX Spectrum games.
It'll be all ZX Spectrum, gravy, wet socks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be stuff like that, but absolutely brilliant. Here we go. My boy has only seen the original trilogy and prequels, and he loves them. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's what it's all about. That's why I never slate him in a way. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I'll never. There's a few lads in the community that like the sequels, and that to me, perfect. We can't all like the same thing or dislike the same thing, can we? So brilliant, great stories, good luck, good stuff. Thanks all. Oh, that's John. Sorry, I meant top 5. Everyone saying take care. JT says, I saw The Force Awakens the moment it came out, which was the midnight show, and the theatre was packed. And behind me was a father and his 2 young kids already in their PJ. That's what it's all about. Cheers,
Exactly.
Mr. D. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you. So please subscribe to all of us if you can. And it's awesome to see everybody. But apart from that, say goodnight, lads.
Good night,
Stay
lads.
awesome, everybody.
See you later. See you.